Welcome to the Chris Lieck podcast. This is a special one for me because right now, sitting to my right is Trey Gunn and to my left is Larrry Estefan, and we all grew up together, and they were in a band, Regent, before I joined, and I don't really know the history of this band, and the unique thing about this band is that I think what Trey was talking about on Friday, it fits with me, is that I think a lot of the formation of my looking and viewing the music business started with Regent. Getting serious about it started with Regent. However, this isn't going to be a formal type of, interview. We're just kind of finding some things out. So me and Trey knew each other since fourth grade at Cambridge. But you were like a ghost that appeared out of nowhere. So
right.
you were born in San Antonio, and then tell me your story.
Third grade, moved with mom and stepdad to Tuxedo Park, New York.
Yep.
A gated community in upstate New York, about an hour up from the city. Beautiful area. Loved it there. But stayed there through 8th grade. So then I was like, well, I want to go back to Texas and live with my dad. And my mom let me. So I showed up at Alamo Heights in 9th grade. I didn't go to junior high and Cambridge with everyone.
So, okay, this is going to get complicated.
It is.
I have a picture.
Nothing about us is not complicated.
I have a picture of Keating doing a gig, I think at the junior high school. Were you at that?
No. We did a gig freshman year at the high school.
In the outside.
Outside. I saw that
That was
photo.
high school.
Outside.
And was that with Carlos?
I believe so.
Carlos Yarry too. Okay.
Yes.
So you were already we were already in high school.
Yeah, in
Okay.
high school.
Makes sense.
So I met Keating. He's like, well, I play drums. So we started jamming at his grandmother's house with Carlos, too. Carlos Yarry, too. He was really into the Beatles. It was a lot of fun.
He had a Sears.
He's been in my studio. He came here when I first built it.
Searsucker guitar.
Yes, really good guy. So Trey came pretty quickly. I don't know. I guess Keating knew you?
He knew me, and you
Our drummer,
guys didn't
Keating.
have a bass player.
Right.
And I was like, I'll play bass.
Did you go to Keystone at all?
I did for 5th and 6th grade.
That's what I thought. Okay.
And then I came back to
Then you came back to Heights.
to junior high.
Okay, so real quick, you meet Carlos, you meet John, y'all start the band,
Right.
and then Trey comes in.
Yes, because it wasn't really a band. It
With
was
the-
just
okay.
playing
Because
at
there
his
was no bass
grandmother's.
player.
Yeah, exactly. That's I would have just gone on. So anyway, I would have started. But real quick, so you went to live with your dad, and he lived on what street?
On Elmview,
was
just
cool.
a block away from the school.
It was a cool house. That house was just a vibe house.
What was neat, we could hear the drums at the football games. The
Yeah, it
cars
was
would
just
be
a
lined
great-
up and down. Of course, Keating was in marching band. So
Yeah,
he
we're going
was
to talk
there
about
doing the
John. We're
drums.
going to go all.
We're going to talk about John while he's not here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. John disappeared. He won't do anything. But
The
he's
greatest drummer, though. We were very lucky.
Yeah, that formation of playing with such an incredible drummer made us all aware of the technical skills of drumming. But let's back up. So you guys formed the band that I keep calling, my band in junior high. I had nothing to do with it. But anyway, you and Carlos and John, Trey, so then y'all played your first gig when?
That would have been the first gig, I think.
But in that photo, isn't Andy playing guitar?
No.
Okay, so it's you,
It's
Carlos, and the three of you.
But you can't see all of us, and I don't know who took the picture. Maybe you can only see Larry, or you only see a guitarist and John and little John. John looks like he's about 7 years old.
Who sang in the band?
I sang.
Okay, and I remember I heard that show, and you sounded good singing.
I sang Dream On.
Yep.
We probably tried to do Stairway to Heaven. We did Brown Sugar.
There we go.
Those I remember.
Yep.
Wow.
And was there like a Aerosmith song or something? I can't remember.
Make it? Oh,
Maybe a little early for Aerosmith.
Yeah.
okay.
So.
So y'all play this the high school
Right.
outside.
Outside.
Okay, and then did y'all play any other gigs?
You know what? I don't know if that was our first gig, because I have this memory of doing a gig at St. Luke's in the basement auditorium or
Yeah, we played there
space.
too.
Was that you as well?
We played there.
And-
I have a
maybe it was the
contract
first
on
gig we got money. We got
We got
$13.26.
Yes, we did. There were more,
Okay, so that's
we
later.
played a lot of shows that we forgot.
Okay.
We played a lot of keg parties that we forgot.
But that was probably the first gig.
And we played with Chris, a junior high.
We did.
Yes, we did. We were
And I
really
wanna remember
excited.
that.
like
really
a dance
do.
or something?
No, just like a daytime thing.
so I wanna
A
go
day-
to-
3:00 thing.
So I want to go to this. So y'all have formed, and you named it Regent.
I think Keating.
Keating.
Of course, I knew
Keating.
he did. Well,
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew
As
it.
I
Good name.
remember, it was Regent King Lords of Rock and Roll. But we just went with Regent.
Keating would get rid of the Lords of Rock and Roll part. That's great. All right. So Regent, Lords of Rock and Roll.
King Lords.
King Lords of Rock and Roll. Okay, so now y'all play a couple of gigs. Tell me how Andy comes into the picture.
Well, just while this is on my mind, though, we had this original called Preservation.
The first, exactly. We were talking about the other
with
day.
Trey's bass line. Don't.
I remember that.
Don't.
Yeah, that was the first thing I think we ever played upstairs at my mom's house. And John,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
John
we-
came up with the bass
We
line.
jam on it for hours. We had some guitarists over. John Howell came over.
Okay.
and tried to play. Andy was before you.
I was going to
Yes,
say,
okay.
is that right? Because I remember it
Andy
the
was
other way
before
around.
me. Andy's before me.
Okay.
Andy
But
was
he must
for a
have-
very short time.
Yeah, he must have disappeared, and that's when you appeared.
Well, I want to stay with you all real
Okay,
quick. 'cause-
okay.
Right.
Well, because I want to see. How did y'all audition and Andy showed up?
I don't think there was an audition.
I don't think so. Andy was really good. He had learned a lot of leads.
He was really good.
tablature,
Yeah.
And he could play the lead to Lagrange,
Yeah.
note for note,
Yep.
and stuff like that. We were like, whoa, yeah, you're in the band.
So I don't know how, but I saw y'all with Andy, and I have a photo where Andy's playing with y'all somewhere, and that's the gig I saw. And that when I saw Keating play drums from the side,
You don't remember where it was.
it was I could swear it was at the Alamo Heights. I could swear it was at Heights. Y'all played on a lunchtime or something.
Okay. Okay.
It was like a 10-minute set. It wasn't long.
Yeah.
I don't even remember y'all having a PA. If
Yeah.
you did, it was like,
just for the voice.
yeah, we'd use an amp.
yeah.
A
I
guitar amp.
remember hearing like, where are the vocals coming from? Because I kind of knew what PA stuff was back then. I was visiting the stores and learning that stuff. But anyway, real quick, I saw John from the side, and I thought he was paying it, some sort of, I was running, his foot was so fast that he was doing double kick. I was still doing guitar, but I was on drums too. I was doing
That's
both.
right.
So when I saw Keating play, I'm like, damn, he is the best drummer around. I've never seen anything like it. I
Right.
mean, to me, when I was hearing him play, the velocity of his playing, his triplet work, his foot is a Bonham. It was like a Bonham to me. I thought this guy is, forget playing drums.
And he was a little guy.
I know.
It was incredible how hard he hit.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And so I saw y'all, and Andy really impressed me too.
Right.
And so I'll tell you the story. So how many gigs do you think you played with Andy? Do you remember maybe one or two?
I don't think that many. I mean, gigs were like once every 6 months or something, weren't they? Or like it felt like that. Maybe it wasn't true. But
And I want to say one thing. I remember you called, because we knew each other in fourth grade. So you called me over to watch, and y'all weren't practicing at your mom's upstairs. You were out in that garage, in that little back garage. In the very back, it was
At our
dark.
place?
Yes, at the Almas Park.
Okay.
Your mom had, like it was just,
she
and
was
it was,
like, "You got to go out
well,
to the
no,
garage."
but where I auditioned was the living room. That's the best story of my life.
Okay.
Your mom and everybody, and you were there, and y'all got to remember this one. But I remember Andy was there, and I felt really weird.
Oh.
And he was cool. Like Andy was in the room, and I walked in, and I was kind of like
wouldn't-
y'all are going to looking at me to come in guitar, and I'm like, he's playing guitar.
It wouldn't have
And he was
surprised.
good, and I'm like,
Yeah.
these guys
But
pretty
it
good.
wouldn't have surprised me if Andy was like only partially into it, and he was kind of telling us
Yes.
like, I don't know that I really want to do this so much.
He told me later as an adult that we scared him off our wildness.
Oh, well,
okay.
we were wild.
Yeah.
We were wild.
Yeah.
We were.
He
No, we
wasn't
were.
ready for the rock and roll.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
just a really good, talented guitarist.
So
Chris and I took care of that later.
Oh, yeah, we sure did. So let's just say this real quick. I talked to Andy on Facebook. He's great.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's a lawyer.
he's great. So this is the audition that I remember was the greatness. Okay. Y'all, you are at Trey's house, and you're playing Andy's leads.
Okay.
Like you're doing it. And you're singing. And Trey calls me up to come audition. And I have to be there at 4:30 because his mom is going to come home or some crap or something. And we set up right smack ass in the living room. So my brother, I couldn't get over there. My brother comes, and I'm in my rabbit fur, these stupid house shoes that my mom got me. And Chip pulls the car up and goes, "Get your ass in the fucking car." So I grabbed my twin, and I threw it in the back of this truck that he was doing political signs for politicians. We drive over to Trey's, and I don't know what, your mom came home, and she sees me come out of the back with Chip and his long-haired friends. I put the amp up. I'm in the rabbit fur slippers, and she comes down. I had a blue and white striped shirt, and I remember her from when we were younger. And we auditioned. We did Ride in the Storm Out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you played, and I was like, damn, he's tasty. He's really good. And I had just started. I wasn't really prolific on guitar yet. I mean, I was okay, but I wasn't great. And I played the lead, and right after I played the lead, Trey goes, "You're in the band."
You guys get the hell out of here.
Or John, and your mom came downstairs and let us have it.
Yeah.
I mean, she blew a fuse at us to the point where practice stopped. So we got to do Ride in the Storm Out, and I could swear it might have been an Aerosmith like Make It song called Make It or something weird, some weird song that I knew. And you were playing.
We did Same Old Song and Dance.
Same Old Song and Dance. That was it.
And not Train Kept a Rolling.
Oh, of
It might
course
have
we
been
did
Train
that.
Kept a
That's
Rolling.
it.
He took a lead and I took a lead, and he goes, "Yeah, you can play lead pretty good," and I was impressed by Larry. I knew were good. I just knew. I was like, yeah, well, I know Trey's good.
I recall just being blown away by you, and you would do this arpeggio, this sweeping arpeggio, which I still, every time I pick up the guitar, I do that. I got that from you.
Yeah, and
I was
well,
like,
John
oh,
was
that's
good
so
with me
cool.
too, because John would always turn me on to different things. John was introduced. We talked about Trey and I introduced this. We know the influence you had on me. I talk about that to several people.
Well, that's really nice.
No, well, it's true. And so let's go back to this. So we audition, and I have been subjected across my street, which I write in my book.
Maybe Andy had to approve of you so you could take his place.
Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Richard Hare, my best friend at the time, told me Andy was there at the audition. He said the other guitar player was there, and he asked me when we got back in the truck, "That was weird." And I go, so I don't remember that, but he goes, "No, Andy was there when we showed up." Okay. I was like, what the hell? So y'all all played. Because I remember Andy telling me, "Man, you're really good." And I go, "Well, you're really good." I think we were all really good.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand
Amazing.
how good this band really was. And when people go, "Oh, our team band was great." Seriously, you were influenced by an array of artists that we didn't know. Trey and I grew up in the San Antonio rock thing. John was introducing jazz to us, integrating us with Jeff Beck.
Mahavishnu kind of stuff.
Yes. Making us go to the shows, demanding that I go to Laurie Auditorium and watch a show.
Stanley Jordan. I went with him there. Yeah.
See? And he almost like imposed this like, open your brain, get out of the box. Mm-hmm. And when you and I are in Kexel, Kiss Radio, and Trey started becoming influenced by him. I sort of did. I was real influenced by you.
With Cheap Trick and stuff.
Well, everything. Because this is the thing. You go to Larry's house, you had exports coming in. I don't know where you got the records. It was unreal. Gary Newman.
Did you bring stuff from New York?
I did.
You did.
And my mom had gone to England. She brought me back. She went into the record store in like 1977 and asked, what's really hip right now? And they gave her Gary Newman and Dire Straits. And she brought them back to me. Wow. I was like, whoa, this is really cool.
But
I had boxes of records.
Yes.
Yeah, and stuff that we never would have heard.
Never would have heard.
I have to remember.
Larry knew every band that came through town opening if they were the fourth act.
I took Keating to see the Sex Pistols.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
And
I love
at
it.
Randy's Rodeo.
I missed that gig.
I wondered what
So
his
John
reaction
went.
was.
John went to that gig.
To my recollection,
He never mentioned that.
That's
John
the one
went with
where
Sid hit the
broke
guy
his
with the
bass.
bass. Yeah. It was a great show.
So Larry was introducing us, but that's later on. I'm going
Right.
to stick back to the sophomore year. So I auditioned. We're at the audition. They start rumbling in the yard, fighting. After your mom kicked us out of the
We did a
living
lot
room.
of that. Oh, but your mom would bring a bucket of chicken once in a while. Remember
She
that?
must have been in a good
Try to
mood.
get rid of you.
For us. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that day she came home on fire, and we were loud. I think it was Andy there. It was really weird. Andy
I
was
think
so
we
cool.
probably weren't supposed to be there, and I was trying to make it happen before she got back.
It was about 5:30. She got back, and all hell broke loose. Because I had to. Can I use your phone? What for? To call my brother to pick me up. So I had to go call my brother, and he had to. And we waited outside in your front yard for about an hour. No joking. and so with my amp and my Les Paul, so we form. Because Andy left.
Right.
And we have and then you somehow, after we do a few gigs, you go back to New York. Now, what year did you go back to New York? Because I want to get the sophomore year we're playing together.
Right.
And when did you leave back?
Oh, I never did. I continued to visit on school breaks to New York. I never moved back to New York.
So junior year, you weren't back in New York.
No.
So okay, I know what.
But I would
we had to
leave
do
for
the
the-
Battle of the Bands without him because he was in New York.
I
It
would
was a
leave
summer
for the
gig.
whole summer
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's what it
That's
would have
right. Okay.
Yeah.
You'd say it again. You'd what?
I would leave back to Tuxedo Park, New York for the whole summer
And
sometimes.
we would freak out because we didn't
Yeah.
have Larry.
been. Yeah.
Right.
I was getting really
And you can't do a gig as a trio.
No, kind of a trio. And that's why we stole Andy's amp. So anyway, we tell that story how we stole Andy's amp. The FBI came and we got in trouble. But and we played the Battle of the Bands without you.
Okay.
You come back September. That will be our junior year.
Right.
And we start playing. And I look at our gig list. And I don't know if we know this, but I wrote down. I have all these gigs we played.
We played like way on the south side too, in
We
like these
played-
crazy bars and
We played South Side, St. Luke's, junior school, high school, Mule Stall.
We had so much fun at the Mule Stall.
We did.
I remember one time when Jeff sang.
oh,
I have the contract.
with him.
If he can make this one gig, he can be in the band. If not, he's
Yeah.
directly fired.
I remember we did that Foghat song.
I just want to make love to you.
Yes. Yeah. He
Yeah.
sang it great.
Yeah, it was funny.
And
as
Rick
hell.
Derringer.
Rick
Oh,
Derringer.
yeah.
Oh, the stories get great at this point. This is the funny thing I don't understand. Why didn't we just let Larry sing?
I don't know why we always had a singer problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Because Larry, when I saw y'all, Larry
I think
was
maybe
singing.
you didn't really want to.
I
You know, he
wasn't
didn't want to.
really feeling comfortable as a singer yet. I like what you're saying. I didn't realize, and maybe we didn't either, what we really had. The fact that the four of us were so innately talented. But then when you came in the band, you started making us into a real band. We're like, well, let's think about this. Let's present ourselves as a band. I wish we had hung out more as a band.
No, I
We were
agree.
all about practice and playing.
Practice
That's
and
the
playing.
only times we were together.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that, like I write in this book that I have coming out, across my street when I grew up wasn't just the normal stuff. Across Terrell Hills was the Lomer family, and they were connected to the Stones, the Who. Tom was their road manager and their photographer, Tom Wright, and for Rod Stewart. So she would take me to all these shows and all these things. So I was subjected real early to the business of the music business. So I was like real on y'all about we need to get organized. And then Chip got those contracts with the bands to sell shirts. So he'd take me backstage starting in 7th grade to like the arena shows. So I'm seeing like they have catering and they've got a writer and they've got contracts about everything. And these guys are under, and I was like way too rough on y'all in that I was so serious about it. I was like, the contract that we shared, it's a classic.
Yeah.
It's like Trey owns the PA, but we own this, and we and
And
Trey's
if you have to
modifying the
miss a-
agreement.
I saw it. I didn't own any of it.
I know.
I guess I didn't
If
pitch
you
in.
have to miss a rehearsal, you have to let us know within 1 week, or otherwise you're out of the
That's me.
band.
I probably missed a lot of rehearsals.
No. But the funny thing is that I was just so I was like, and I want to tell you all guys, I never told you this. It's because when people saw us, like Chip's friends and John Barry and people in the community and Gerardo from Heyoka,
Right.
they're like, these guys are really good. So I was kind of being told that why aren't y'all taking this really seriously? Remember? Because I
Yeah.
was like always on y'all. Oh, let's go, let's get it big, let's do this. But And I'll never forget this, Trey. Looked at me the funniest thing. One time I went to the crappiest show and you started laughing. We went backstage to a Riot concert. And I'd seen that they had got screwed from their manager. So I was so I said, I barged in the practice room. I don't know why y'all were practicing in my house. No one cared about my house, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
My mom would let us practice for 6 hours, didn't even hear us.
Yep.
And so I barged in the room, and Trey is practicing, and I walk in the room, and I tell you and Larry, we need to get serious about this shit. I just saw Riot. And Larry starts laughing at me. And he says, Riot sucks. It was the funniest thing. I started laughing. What? That's not the point. The point is that we got to think of this big. And Keating's just drinking a McDonald's milkshake with, I don't think that's really should be our goal. I'm just like,
That's
why
right.
are you in the fucking band?
Exactly.
You know? And then remember this. John leaves for a boarding school because his mom said he's too serious about.
To Keystone.
No, he went to Austin.
Oh, that's right.
And we had to go. And
I don't remember that.
yes,
Oh,
he left junior year.
wow.
We had Jesse in the band from Cementville. Not Jesse from Cementville. He lived in Cementville.
Yeah.
I saw him the other
Wait,
day. He's like
playing drums?
Playing drums. We had to go get his drums, and I had to put him in the convertible. And you and I were so disgruntled about it
Yeah, I remember Jesse.
that we took Mom's LTD and stole my mom's LTD and went and got John's drums just so we'd have them, set them up at our house.
How did we get them? Did we just tell his mom that he said we could?
Yes,
we
and
could. We could.
went and picked them
we
up.
could have them.
But this makes the story better. In the Ford LTD, we went and got him, and then we went and picked him up. He came back. There was a spring break or something we went and got him for, and he came back with us, and we practiced with him during the time he was gone. But we had to get Jesse on drums. You, me, Jeff Foister played that gig.
That's right.
And then the moment that John arrived back is when we started to gel. It was about April of our junior year. Remember?
So he came. He came back.
He came back. And remember, he left because his mom said he was getting too serious about our band.
Wow.
He was typing
Yes.
a contract
Yes.
for me. And I guess his dad saw it or something. And it was like this deep, and he was like, that's not how you write a contract. And this is how you do a contract. And he's showing me. And so he writes it out. I'm at his house, and they go, what are y'all doing? Writing a contract. And I take off.
That was it.
That was it.
Uh,
That's funny.
It might have been a contract about how that we're dedicated to each other.
right. Right.
Like you can't leave knowing me, if you leave the band,
It's a cult.
you leave the band, you leave your instruments, and you leave everything about you. That would have been me. So I want to see this. So so you're in New York during the summers,
And
And
Christmas.
and then you have a friend up there, Lansing.
Yeah.
And was he from the same area?
Yes, we were schoolmates and best friends, and we pretty much learned guitar together
And
Well,
wrote
no, we-
songs together.
and wrote little songs. Yeah, on acoustic. He was quite a good songwriter.
Yes.
What I wanted to say, though, about Regent and my thing with Riot, it's like we wanted to play these club shows and stuff, but we were so different from the bands that were big on that circuit.
Yes.
They were all wanting to be Riot, and they had this professional show and this sound, which was the same all the way through, but they were very pro. But we all brought these influences to the band. We would play anything. We were playing Jeff Beck. We were playing the Beatles and rocking them up. We brought all these various influences. We were really unique.
And we could play pretty much anything we wanted to play.
Yeah,
We
we were having fun with
We
it.
didn't really try something and it didn't work.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, I'll say this. Well, I don't want to fast forward to this era real quick because I want to go through the chronology. But Neil walked in after I'd pestered him for about a year. I'd known him 2 years.
okay.
So he was in a band, Lifus, and he would not leave him.
Okay.
Well, you know what? My bad. Billy was in Lifus. He was in a band like Lifus. It was called something with an L. And he was dead set. He would tell me all these goals, all these things they were doing. And I was the cockiest little shit. I'd say, that's nothing. And I went and saw him. I go, your drummer sucks. Ours kills you. All of my players are better than you guys. And I remember he wanted to come see us. And I remember he rubbed his little peach fuzz. And he came in and saw us one day. And y'all didn't even know who he was at our place up on Elizabeth Road. And he walked out and he goes, yeah, y'all are really good. The drummer's absolutely incredible. Y'all are all pretty good. You're not seasoned enough to me. And I'm like,
That sounds like something he would say.
yeah. And I'm like, I'm the best motherfucking one in the band. And he's like, no, you're not. And I like that. I like stuff like that.
And he was a great singer.
Incredible. I wanted him so bad. I used to go to his house. It was about a 800 foot square house with 4 bedrooms, literally.
Where was this?
Off Vance Jackson, where Mike Nesmith of the Monkees grew up, right by there.
Okay.
Off Vance Jackson, tiny little house, very, humble family. And I would sit in that I swear to gosh, it was a 6x6 room, and talk to him endlessly. Y'all don't know this. I think I went into his house 12 times to get him to sing with us.
Wow.
I'm not joking. I literally stopped by that house whenever I was in the neighborhood. I just knock on the door. He thought my pestering of him is what got him to the practice room for that first practice. But anyway.
Did he sign the contract?
No, he didn't. Actually, he was blown away. I have so many good stories about him. But real quick, so we start playing that sophomore year, actually, right away.
Right.
And then John,
and
summer.
Who was singing? Was it Larry?
No, first was Rick.
No, Rick's later.
Rick's later.
No, you're right. No, it was Rick when we started. No.
Right.
No, you're right. But with us, we played gigs. It must have been Larry.
Well, sometimes you would sing.
I would sing a few times, but he sang mostly a couple of songs. So we knew we needed a singer. So we go get Rick Rodriguez. But Bill Duncan, who passed away, Bill, oh my God, I'm going to remember his name, came with this Corvette. He was like 10 years older than us.
I don't remember.
Do you know how many singers I auditioned? Like about 10. I auditioned singers without y'all. And my brother,
you had all these contacts through your brother. We didn't have older brothers.
He brought in some guys. Right. And when we auditioned Neil, finally we didn't audition Neil. He auditioned us. Right. My brother jammed in the door one day. He goes, "You better get that motherfucker." He goes, "Y'all just sound like a real band now. Y'all suck before that guy." My brother did. And I'm like, "Well, we didn't have a singer, you asshole." And he's like, "That's the guy." But Chip loved Rick. And remember Rick?
Rick was great. Rick could do the
great.
Blue Oyster Cult and the Born to Be Wild.
Right.
He was fine for that stuff.
It was the weirdest fit, though.
Yeah, I know.
For us young kids. And this
Southside guy.
Southside dude. And my brother used to love it. He used to think y'all look so ridiculous. And so we went to, remember, we booked like 6 parties. And I'll never forget, we go to play this party for Leslie Rubin over by MacArthur. And Rick starts trying to do the Reaper parts or something. And he was way off. He was like really, really off. And that's when I had already seen Neil.
Right.
So I was like, guys, we got to get rid of this guy. We got to get this guy. And I had seen Neil 2 years before.
Neil, who I remember could sing Victim of Changes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
And then he could take
And the
something
Zeppelin
like
stuff too.
Like we did Green Eyed Lady. That's the kind of stuff we would do. Just we liked this song. We weren't a 60s throwback band, but we liked it, so we rocked it out. And he could put a lot of soul into that song.
And to show my commerce of y'all and me and Trey, I booked 2 keg parties, which I have photos from them, so I can prove it.
At your house?
At my house, 2.
Yeah.
I booked 2, not 1. I had
have
to book
photos.
2.
Yeah.
I got through 4 to 10 kegs of beer. It was about $50 a keg. We paid the Alamo Heights police, the Terrell Hills police off, so they could work the door, and we cleaned up. And we had our first fight because I was like, "No, this is my." And Hunter McGrath was
my gig.
No, Hunter McGrath was the count, and so he wanted 50%.
Oh.
For some reason. And so we gave it to him.
Because he was the biggest guy.
We gave it to him. He's like, "I'm taking care of all the door." And I'm like, and that's when we started introducing ourselves to business. And we had, there's tons of people at those parties.
Didn't it run out of beer?
Yeah. It ran out of beer. My backyard was to the very back. It was packed. People trying to get in. But that's when we really started noticing, that was the gig we started noticing. We have photos of that gig. You, me, Trey, that we needed a singer. That was the gig. I don't know. I don't think Rick played that gig with us or something.
Right.
He got in trouble or something happened with him. He would go through a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Didn't he have I don't mean to be crude. He had like some criminal things.
He had a little kid. Stuff.
Okay. He was
more of an adult.
Did you talk to him ever after?
No.
Oh, I thought because you're good at keeping touch with people. So, Larry, I'm at Larry's house, and Larry, you're turning me on to all this great music.
Okay.
And I'm resistant.
Okay.
And how'd you figure that stuff out? Did you find these albums?
Actually, my dad was a criminal defense lawyer, Arthur Estefan, and one of his clients was a DJ, and my dad got all these boxes of records, and there were all these imports in it. That's how I first came up with all that music.
There we go.
There was like David Bowie, Roxy Music, all this proto-punk stuff, Cheap Trick, Motorhead, their like first album. And I was like, this is crazy stuff. And I would just listen to all that stuff and then look into what I liked.
Well, one day I go over to Larry's, and he's in a hyper mood, which is really weird for Larry, like a real hyper mood, and he's imposing the music on me, and I'm really resistant.
I was like that, yeah.
I loved it. It was no. You said you take these albums home, and I did. And he gave me Trick, Newman, a Bowie record, a couple of odd records, like 10 records you gave me.
Okay.
And I took them home, and I swear to God, I listened to every one of them like 25 times. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like it was a major influence on me. Like just and then I started saying, Larry started bringing in unique music to the band. Don't you remember? But
like Alice Cooper's first record.
There
I was
you go.
really big into the early Alice Cooper.
I mean, we
band.
knew Cooper, but we didn't know the first record.
Right.
And you wouldn't go
Right.
buy it,
And he'd always take the needle to the point of the song. Because he'd always say, "No, you're not hearing it." And he'd go to the second section of the 8-minute song. Then he'd say, "Wait, they go to a chord change here." And I'm just like so black and white. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So, but then as I started to, and when I talk about how that helped me, it did.
But you got me pegged. You're right. I used to remember we had off-campus lunch. I used to bring
Right.
Keating to my house, which was a block from school.
Oh, that's
and
right.
play him records at lunchtime. And he'd be like, well, I'd be playing him all this new wave stuff and David Bowie live. And he'd be like, well, it's good, but it sounds like they're holding back. He really wanted to hear the jazz stuff. They're talented, but they could do better.
But God, he was so incredible in the practice room.
Yeah.
I mean, he really was musically smart too. He would say, y'all would leave the room, he'd say, "Why are you playing all those notes?" And I'd be like, "Why don't you shut the fuck up?" And he'd be like, you remember he took an hour to eat hamburger, right?
Oh, yeah.
1 hour.
Yeah.
He'd get a McDonald's hamburger
Wow.
and he'd put it down by his drums.
Hey.
And I'm not joking, 1 effing hour.
Hey, I went to, like, 1 year after I had left town, I came back to hang out with John. We were going to go do something, and at Christmas afternoon, I went to visit him, and like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the family's all sitting around the living room. They haven't opened their Christmas presents yet.
Of course.
Next day, not yet. The third day, they
Good
just
night.
started to open 1 or 2 things.
They were the turtle. I called the turtle family.
The turtle.
family.
I remember his mom and
They
dad.
were great. She was great.
They lived in that condo
Yeah,
on North
yeah.
New Braunfels.
And I remember the summer of so now we're going to go to
Yeah,
summer.
he would have a milkshake last like 5 hours.
5 hours. It melted. It was completely ridiculous. It was absurd. And he would go to he figured this out. He would go to the Dairy Queen on Austin Highway and put a big magnet that he stole from the science lab on the pinball machine. So when the ball got all the way down, it would go beep, real hard against the glass. Then he'd pull the magnet back up and lift it up again. and so the owner finally figured out what the knocking sound was. And John, and he had it in a paper bag. And I said, "You think that's funny?" He's like, and he'd take that shake. But anyway, now let's fast forward. So we're going in 11th grade year. You take off that summer. I remember that being I was so mad at you that summer.
I
remember
recall
that? I kept
too.
calling you
Yeah.
in New York and saying, "We are
Yes.
a band." I was just livid at him because Neil was starting to come around.
Right.
And wanted to rehearse that summer. So you and I and Keating played the Battle of the Bands, and Keating was back. He got back from boarding school.
You must have sung that gig.
I did sing that gig.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I was telling you I didn't want to sing, and you told me, "Here's a solution." We stole your dad's Corvette, his red Corvette. He lived at the apartments over there with the downstairs like basement apartment.
Yeah.
And we took the red Vet. How do we get? It was hilarious.
Are you sure you're not talking about the red Suburban?
No, it was the red vet.
Because we did some bad shit.
I know. But this gig, you had the vet for some reason.
Okay.
We thought it was the coolest thing. And you got gas in it. You could get free gas. So he had the vet. He was his dad's vet. So anyway, we go to the gig. You weren't there. After we finished that gig, I'm livid. I call you.
Okay.
I went to my girlfriend's house and I used her long distance and I called you and I was like, you need to get back. You go, I'm coming back. And
I think there were times I came back earlier than I was supposed to.
Yeah, I know. I was just pressuring him. Yeah. But right when you got back is when we got Neil in. We got him to practice.
Right.
And I want to tell this.
Was this at your house?
My house upstairs. We turned that into a practice.
Is that when you guys had the mattresses and the double stacks?
I can't wait till we go there.
Yeah.
I made Larry get double stacks
I know.
like an idiot. I told him, let's go get double stacks, and he did it.
We went
for
to
me.
Southside Music.
What kind of
Ampeg.
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 We have to have
They
stacks.
had no overdrive, though.
No overdrive.
No overdrive. One volume control.
One volume control.
I don't know why a big stack like that
I
wouldn't
know
have
exactly.
a master.
So we
and
had
a
these
gain.
stacks, and this is the best one. We got the district attorney contacted my mom because the Terre Haute police couldn't control us. We would say yes, sir. We'd go back to doing it. They called the police. They came by 3 or 4 times. They couldn't control us. So the district attorney knew my mom. So he calls her. And we had this last complaint, and that's when Neil starting to rehearse with us. We had some form of PA up there. I don't know, a PV, or we borrowed something. It was a crappy one. And Neil was Neil had it. Neil had a PV, little PV.
Wasn't that one of the requirements for the audition?
It probably. I have that.
The columns.
The columns.
Yeah.
That's another reason I wanted to have him in the band. Anyway, this is the greatest moment. He comes up and he jams with us. Chip barges through the door when he leaves and says, you guys need to get him in the band. And we had done 3 songs, and he was incredible. We did Rebel, Suffragette City, I forgot what. But anyway, obviously you could tell then that your influences were now in the band. Your influences were in the band, and John's influences were in the band. At that point, y'all were probably influencing the band more than me, because I was busy trying to think about what we were going to do with getting a singer. Anyway, we get him in there. He auditions. I finally get him to come. His band started to flake a little bit. So one day he calls me, hey, I'll give you all a chance. What day? It was a Tuesday. And we had to do something like an exam or some school thing. I don't remember what it was. Okay. It was like an exam or a test, and you were kind of funky, and you had grade-wise too. Y'all were both. And I was like, no, we have to do it. So it was like 6 o'clock, late for us to practice. It wasn't common that we did that. We practiced, and Neil came. The police, after he left, y'all left. The police came, and that was it. We had to go. You and I had to go buy 10 mattresses.
Oh, that was before the mattresses.
It was before the mattresses, and we had to
as if that was going to do
tie
anything.
them. This is the best story.
To the ceiling,
to the walls. Tie them, and then play for the next door neighbor to see if he could hear us.
That's right. And we're like,
we had to play. And so Trey one day says, fuck this, so we cranked it up, and I said, can you hear us? And you're like, no, I can't hear you all the way to Virgil's house. So we knew we were in the clear. And then I don't know who stopped by, one of my mom's friends, and said, nope, that's a fire hazard.
oh,
Because we had this light board that Keating had made that was
Yes.
wired completely open.
well, we would get electrocuted periodically.
We would. And it was like this fire hazard. And the guy's like, you cannot have those loose wires. And Keating said, why not? They're grounded. Everything's fine. And it was a friend of my mom's. And so Keating put sides on the light board or something.
Okay.
But that practice
We would
room-
argue with anybody.
But remember my dedication. I'm not praising me. I'm praising y'all in this. I really do, because y'all were before I was. I first gave up my bedroom because the upstairs room we practiced was my bedroom. There was no more bed in there. We took the whole room.
Yeah.
So I slept downstairs on my mom's second part of her bedroom. Then we took the other bedroom where I had. And I didn't want to go back to the one we practiced in. So I ended up sleeping the rest of my life till I left that house in some
Like little closety space.
whatever
right?
bed I had.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never had a bedroom after that, after we took it into practice room.
Wow.
And getting Neil, after we practiced with Neil, we didn't practice for a week, Larry.
Okay.
And he called me. I knew we had him because he says, are you guys serious about this or not?
Wow.
And I was like, what do you mean? It has been a week. and we have not gotten together. We need to practice every day. And I remember we had this big fight about that because we couldn't. I was playing, we had things going on.
Yeah.
He made us practice 4 days a week. Wow. And we had it to where we could come in real quick, and Keating was very resistant.
Just get it going.
Yeah.
Just get it going.
Yeah.
He was old. Remember, how much older was he? 3 or 4 years?
Probably.
He was out of.
He seemed. I mean, at the time, it felt like 5 or 7 years, but it probably wasn't. You know.
Yeah,
but he was out. He was out of high school, right?
He was almost out of college.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was 22 years old.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'm doing this in serious. And then we played one song one day, and we really did kick ass on it. I might have been the Reaper, one of the ones he did. Which ones do you remember him doing really well? All of them I remember.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he could do Robert Plant pretty well, too.
Yeah.
But also Victim of Changes was a big one because
that was his big audition.
Victim of Changes. Yeah. That 7-minute masterpiece.
Yes. Yes.
And he did the scream. La, la.
Yeah,
That one?
the Ripper.
Yeah.
The Ripper was fun to play. I don't know I ever played it right.
Neither did I. You and I would always screw that intro up. Always. So he plays the gig. I mean, he plays with us, and he gets really serious about us. He takes me outside one day and tells me how good we are. I wanted to share that with you.
Okay.
Like he has this, no lie, 30-minute philosophical, I didn't think he was this deep, conversation about how we should, and Keating is, and you guys, and Trey's an incredible bass player, and Larry's incredible. He's better even than you are. You think you're the best, but he's better than you. And I said, I don't deny any of that stuff. I said, I am serious about it. And so he's telling me how good we are and how we should be way more serious about this, that we could literally do something. Yeah. And that was pretty good coming from him. And you know who else told me that? John Barry. Do you remember we auditioned him?
For what?
Oh, my God.
Remind me.
Do you know John Barry from La Fonda? You know La Fonda?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. You were in New York.
Okay.
You and I call up Chip's like, John Barry's a guitar. I go, we need to get a guitar player for the summer. John just got off the road touring all the way across the United States in his VW Bug. His dad owned La Fonda. He lived above La Fonda on Main. Very astute guitar, very good guitar player. Excellent player. We're talking. I still talk to him today. Incredible player. He walks in, gets out of his VW bus. Trey starts making fun of him. John does too. I just want to tell you this one story. Yeah. He rolls his amp up on a skateboard down the long path of Elizabeth to my house. Gets up, puts his amp in. We play a song. That night I was going to Legs Diamond with Chip to sell shirts. Blows us away. Plays. He's really good guitar player. Eats my lunch.
Wow.
Sings. He sings Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. Chip walks in the room in front of John and tells us, because this was before Neil, you guys sound like a fucking band. And I knew it too. So you're like, no, too old. John's like, he's incredible. No, too old. So I had the job of taking him to the kitchen and telling him no. And I was like, he's incredible.
Thank you.
We'll replace Larry. Yeah. And you're like, nope. And John's like, nope. So I go in there and we have this philosophical, and I cannot get around but saying, we don't think you're right. He goes, let me tell you something, kid. And he lectures me, and I'm not going to talk about what he said, but it was the most inspirational lecture that I ever got about us.
Okay. How
good we were and how we better get educated. And that he'd been off the road and how tough life is as a musician. And I'm delusional, that I am. Mm-hmm. When I told him my idea, my plan.
Is somebody like you, but a lot younger?
He let me, he was older.
That's what I mean, like him.
Like him, yeah. But just, and I acted like I listened to none of it. And I listened to every word. And every word of that I took to heart, and I never let go of it. And when I see him nowadays, I tell him, he goes, no, I didn't say much to you in that conversation. You were letting me have it. And I go, no, actually you said about the business and how serious it is and how the road and you don't know and y'all better get, and he was telling me what your life's going to be if you choose to be a musician. He lectured me as I was trying to tell him that he wasn't in the band. And he said, I don't want to be in your band. Y'all are too young, but you're incredible musicians for your age.
Yeah.
So we were getting this validity from other people. Even Chip's friends knew we were really good.
I think we got some of that the time we sat down and jammed with Gerardo, too,
Love that story.
which we just did for fun. We weren't auditioning him. He just came over and we played with him.
I told Lewis to bring him over,
Okay.
and we got to play with him. We were like,
From
Remember
Heoka.
You were there?
I don't remember.
"You were there?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "You guys are, we were good." Even John. And funny thing, that was the first time John actually gave credit. He's like, "Yeah, he is really good." John's like, "No, he's
I remember
really
he
good."
hated those guys,
He hated him.
and then some point it turned.
Might have been the Jordo
Yeah.
coming because Jordo came over and did some jazz stuff and played and was. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I think
man.
I remember that.
We might have done Jeff Beck or something.
Yeah.
And
How
how
he knew it when he was on the podcast. He remembered it.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, wow, cool.
and how much did we play with Neil? And
A ton. I looked at our gig stuff. Sack. Dang. You should see all the gigs we played.
oh, that's right, the sack gig
Oh,
for
but
sure.
we were forgetting one thing. Donnie the singer.
Well, I was going to say, weren't there some other singers?
We
Because
had
I remember Donnie was
we
like,
booked 3 parties for Incarnate Word that I booked with Pam White. She had 3 parties, and we went and played on a sloped hill. You remember out on Weesatch or Mistletoe by Sack.
mm-hmm.
We charged $3,
Okay.
and we got Donnie and took photos for
Yeah.
Sam Kinsey. So Sam Kinsey
Oh,
booked
yeah,
us with Donnie,
yeah.
and so we wanted a couple of warm-up gigs. Incarnate Word girls wanted to book us.
That's the junior school. Oh, no. Plus, we did another junior school.
There you go. And we went with Donnie,
Yeah.
but the gig that fell apart was the backyard party. We did an Incarnate Word backyard party, and we played.
at the school.
No,
At
it
the
was
high
a girl.
school? No.
No, it was a girl named Pam. They had 2 houses, and they booked us, and we made a flyer. And one of them was last minute. The second one we did like 2 days before, but the first one was planned. We played a party. She paid us, and we made like about $265 at the door. And because those schools didn't have, and Donnie sang, and I'll never forget it because you were right. Our amps wouldn't distort.
Right.
So we were playing
Blinky,
Running
Blinky.
with the Devil or some weird song that Donnie was going to sing, and we went into the lead, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. no.
This doesn't sound right.
It's the worst. And Jenny's like, my friend's like, that lead sucked.
And you guys didn't have any pedals or
All we
anything.
needed to do was buy a tube screamer.
Tube screamer, we didn't know.
You didn't have any.
know.
But didn't you have a wah?
I had a fuzz wah.
But was that back then or?
I think I didn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And then
I had it at first.
And then
It was
Larry,
incredible.
no, Larry was forced to introduce some distortion to me. I did. I had a big muff, but
That's right.
it didn't work on that
Yeah,
sound.
you couldn't. You're either
Yeah.
in that world or not.
So,
Right,
but then
right.
we got through the party, but Donnie was horrendous. And remember, he wore a Levi's shirt and a fur. It was summer, middle of summer, a fur vest, and he was sweating, and there was mosquitoes. And I'll never forget it because I screamed at her because she booked us, and we y'all have to set up right there.
Oh, in
Well,
the sun.
No. Right after she booked us at night, but right after the hill, it went completely down, so the people couldn't be by the stage.
Okay.
So it was at the top of a hill, and it sloped straight down. Then all the people were like 20 feet away. And we played that party, and then we played another party, and then we played. With Donnie, we only did 2 gigs, didn't we? Or do you remember?
I don't remember.
I remember 2 gigs.
But we did
with
that
him.
photo shoot downtown. He's
Yes.
in those pictures
That's
of
the first
us
thing we
like,
did with him.
at the bus station and stuff.
Well, we
Good
put him in the band
photos.
right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came in and he looked good.
You
Remember?
get
Yeah.
pictures quick before we
And
get a
he
new
could-
singer.
He could sing Bad Company kind
Yeah,
of
that's-
style.
that's what I
true.
remember.
That's
Yeah.
true. He could.
Yeah.
But then we did Running with the Devil. I was like, oh my God. And the girls are looking like this. And that's when I knew that's a fun thing. I knew Neil.
Right.
So I knew he could sing.
Yeah.
So I was so pissed off and couldn't invite him to our gigs because he'd see Donnie.
Right. Right.
So
And was Neil the last singer?
yeah, Neil was the last singer. But this is the funny thing. Our senior year, we started to get really serious. Neil was there, and I'm going to show people all of the gigs that we played with Neil. We did the video at SAC. We played the downstairs with SAC.
In the
We
lunchroom.
were in the newspaper.
We had a video at Trinity too, but I don't know who sang. We did Dr. Tar and Professor Feather. by Alan Parson Project.
Oh, shit. I don't remember
I
that.
had a still from that. I'm playing Your BC Rich.
Oh my God, I want to
Wow.
see
You let
it.
me play your guitar. It's a still of myself, but they videoed us. We played 2 songs. I don't know who sang.
Oh, and it was just a short little thing, right?
Yeah, just 2 little songs. But I remember Dr. Tar. We played that song.
Was that somehow connected to like my stepdad and the video
Probably.
department or something?
Probably
Maybe.
so.
That's right.
Like we were just kind of a demo for the class to film or something.
Right.
With Neil, we stepped it up. We played. I looked at where we played, and we played a lot of places. And then remember, with Neil, I'm going to fast forward, but I want to talk about the time when Neil joined. The cool thing about that moment, you came back from New York early, August of '78.
Okay.
You come back. We played July '78 at the Battle of the Bands.
Okay.
We start practicing. Neil comes in and joins right after that. He commits. You come back. We go full time in the summer practicing. Last weeks of August with Neil.
Right.
Full time. We go into the year with Neil, and we go heavy that year. Meaning we played a lot. Then we get John. We got play Johnny B. Goods, which was 5-6 nights a week. But before all of that, we had some really good gigs with Neil. We played Brett Shaw's Keg Party. That was our best gig ever in Almas Park. He ripped it that night. I mean, we played for these Chip's friends. They booked us at Baker Shaw's party. We played Debbie O'Neill's party down the street from my house.
Okay.
Neil was nailing it, and we had our set down. We rehearsed 4 days a week. Man, we were.
And we had changed our name to the Grit Kids.
That was later.
Okay, we were changing our name.
We were changing our name. That's true.
Which was pre-kids for you.
Pre-kids, right? But
It
no,
was
that
your
was
idea.
but that was post. But you and everyone in that band, you had a major voice in it. You had a major voice in it. With Neil, it kind of became more of a. Everyone chimed in. Remember, he'd do those philosophical, and you'd say, "We should play this song." He'd say, "Let me hear it first."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then it became, "We're gonna play this song."
Right.
Because at first we succumbed to him. We succumbed to Neil at first.
What I remember about that, the later periods, and you were like, well, let's look like a band.
Yes.
So you covered our speaker cabinets
Yes, I did.
with that silver
Red too. I did 2
and
colors.
red.
Oh, that's
like
why
silk?
I didn't think that they were Ampeg cabinets.
Yeah, you covered the cabinets with silk.
Right.
And we started going to Judy's to get our clothes.
We did.
We go to the ladies' clothing store.
Ladies'
to get
clothing store.
Cool blouses.
Cool blouses.
I remember you and I going to shop for white Capizios.
Yes. We didn't wear high jean Simmons
You're like,
boots
these
anymore.
are cool. We got to wear these. You and me. Just you and me will wear these
Yeah,
Capizios.
I was a little too anal about that stuff looking back.
It must have been you. Like when we played the SAC gig, I remember from the video still, there was like a giant poster with our name.
There was.
How did you make that?
I don't know. I went to a
Because there was
print.
no Kinkos or anything.
There was a
right?
print. There was somehow my brother knew a print shop, and I said, "We got to get a print of our names if we're going to play." And I swear I think it cost me like $50-$60. But I
Right.
did it because y'all were like, "I don't care. I don't care." John's like, "I don't care."
Now every band has those.
Remember I made T-shirts, and y'all were like, I love Trey's like, "You can invest in that on your own." And my brother's like, "I'll get them for y'all." So we had the T-shirts. I had a fan club letter, like you could sign up. It was hilarious, all the things I found. It was a classic. But with Neil, I felt we really were seriously could have been a serious club band, you know, and that's when John, I think, saw I was getting ultra serious about it. You and I probably knew, and you did too, that music was going to be in our future. Because although everyone was going to maybe go to school or whatever, I just thought we are pretty much musicians.
Yeah. Did we ever play the main club I remember on the Austin Highway? It was
6
called
nights a week.
the Players Retreat, and then it was called Razzle Dazzle. We
we-
did play
That
there.
wasn't Johnny B. Goods?
It was Johnny B. Goods at first. Johnny B. Good. Oh, Razzle Dazzle. Yes, we played there.
Right.
Yes, we played.
That's
I've got
where all the
photos.
pro bands would
Yes.
play.
Oh, we played a lot of. We played Cooter Browns.
Was that further
That's
out?
right.
We played Cooter
That's right.
Browns.
It was further
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
Jerry and Jeff Doyle's band, Sweet Savage, had like.
Oh, we were
regular
playing all those
gigs.
clubs.
Yeah.
We were playing all those. We opened for Heyoka. You were in.
That's right.
You were in
Where was that? What gig was that?
Blue Bonnet Palace. They
Yeah, I
called
don't
us at
think
the
I was
last
there.
minute. We stole my mom's car and went. I was in. We left. No, seriously, that was the best moment. Bill Angelini, who I became later real good friends with, calls us up. We did two things with it.
What happened? What happened to the opening act?
I don't know. He called us in. It was weird. He said they're going to go on at like 7:00, and he wasn't here. I was so mad. That's why I called him. You need to get here. We open for Heyoka. And he called us, and my mom's like, "No, you are not taking the car. I stole the convertible. It was 4:30. I went and picked you up. We put John's drums in the back. You had your bass. I had my guitar, and I don't know how we got the amp in the convertible. We did. We drove to San Marcos, and we unloaded. It was 105 degrees outside. I was in Levi's shirts and black felt pants to look good. And you're like, oh,
Commitment.
my God. And we load up on the stage, and we play. Broad daylight, it was packed. I mean, but it was like 5 o'clock when we started, 5:30. We were like, what's the deal? Y'all go on right now. No sound check. And I told John, which is something I used later on in life, just play a jam to start so they can get our sound. And he goes, what are you talking about? And I go, just start playing. Wow. And he's like, anything. So we just jammed the first like 3 minutes, and people were looking at us like, what are y'all doing? But then we started sounding pretty good.
Okay.
Right.
And then we were all into ourselves after that. And then I swear to God, I didn't get the car for like 2 weeks. That was bad. Because right when she's yelling at me, I'm going to open for fucking Heyoka. I don't give a hell.
You guys used to just laugh at her.
Oh, we did. And she goes, I'm telling you, you take that car right now. And I go, Mom, this is an emergency. So I grabbed that convertible, took the top down, and I said, John, I'm picking you up. I don't know why he had his drums at his house, but he did. He was practicing or something. But we opened, and then you came back, and we were full-time. I mean, that last year, we were. Yeah. I looked at our set list. We were at 47 songs.
Wow.
47 songs.
I'd like to see that again.
That is a lot of songs.
Yeah.
And we had a 2 set list, and then we had a 4. So we had our 2 mains if we played something shorter, and we had our 4. And then we moved to Chip Blunt's house.
Yes, Chip became our
manager.
That's right.
Our manager. And then we had no doors on the house, remember?
I do.
His dad's house, which was like destroyed.
Destroyed, because his dad was always going to fix it up.
Right.
And he never did. And so
No
we
one
would go
lived
in
there.
there in the winter with no doors.
That's right.
He had a ferret in our practice room.
It did smell funny.
He had a ferret. And we practiced there. And that's when Neil became real serious about the band.
Okay.
He was on us all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. We were like in the living room or something, or
We went to Chip's bedroom after the living room.
yeah.
We tried upstairs. It didn't work. We went downstairs, and then we had to take the mattresses from my mom's house.
And we soundproofed that room.
We soundproofed that room. And we added to the soundproofing.
That's right.
And y'all used to smoke cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought
Yep.
so.
No fire hazard there.
No, not at all.
It was greatness. And our finest hours, I have to say, some of my finest hours in life were then with y'all.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Me too.
Me too. I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
there are moments, because you're so new to having an audience reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're in high school and you're getting that, hey, you guys are pretty good. Yeah. Right?
And there wasn't much competition.
There was
Right?
none.
No.
I mean,
At
what
our
was
age
there?
group?
Yeah, there was nothing at our age group.
Nothing in our age group that could touch us.
Yeah.
We were so cocky.
Yeah.
We just knew how damn good we were. The funny thing is we weren't unrealistic about it. If we saw somebody really good, we'd go, oh, my God, we stink. We weren't like...
would that have been local? I mean, what was the local competition besides like
There was a
Heyoka?
band called Raz,
Don't remember them, but yes, I remember the name.
Heyoka.
Heyoka.
Of course, Jerry and Jeff Doyle, Sweet Savage.
Yep.
They were real pro.
I just considered us to be kind of different, like you said.
Oh, we were. Yeah.
And so to me, I said, there's really nothing like us out there.
There wasn't.
Well,
You're
and we
right.
were playing music that nobody would have heard. I mean, some of it for sure, but other stuff that wasn't it wasn't on the radio around here.
Larry
other bands.
converted Neil.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Neil was in awe of your song ability to pick stuff. He became forever influenced by it, as did I.
You had an original, My Baby Don't Lie.
I had that. And then you wrote a couple you were working on with Lansing that were really good. You were even writing.
That's right.
You started writing, kind of, yeah? Or you were writing with Larry or something. Okay, I thought you were.
I don't remember.
Okay. And I remember you walking in with the bass line one time, and you and Keating were working on something. And it was pretty good. And then we start, but the greatness of this thing was, I want to go through just real quick because I'm catching my memory. We can cut some of this out. But, okay, we start playing. We play. And I'm going to tell you some of the gigs I'm remembering. Incarnate Word College. You remember playing that?
Which one?
Thursday night, Incarnate Word College.
Not I.
At the big cafeteria there?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Like at night or in the lunch?
At night.
No, I don't.
We played lunch.
We played lunch.
We played Ursuline lunch.
Okay.
We played cafeteria night at Incarnate Word College.
Must have sounded great in that room.
No, you know what happened in Incarnate Word College that night? John Lappage was there.
Oh.
So he was there that night.
Wow.
Okay.
We
Blast
ended
from
and he
the
grabbed
What
me
was
to
he
drink
doing
a
there?
beer.
Picking up young girls?
I don't know what he was doing.
Picking up young boys?
I know, exactly. I don't know. So we played, I'm going to look weird places that you know. We played these couple of weird clubs I'd never heard. We played the one you said, was it the Razzle Dazzle?
Razzle Dazzle.
We played Cooter Browns.
I remember that show. Didn't we play like Up High?
Yep, we sure did.
Yeah.
We played several keg parties.
I remember a couple of gigs on the south side where it was like bikers at pool tables.
No, this is the best. I was going to wait
And
for
like,
this.
are we going to be okay? I think actually we're cool enough. We're good enough. We're going to be able to pull this off.
That was my introduction to calling out Lappage. Chip and I laugh about the story forever. Larry was there too in the kitchen. So we play a biker bar. We pull up, and he books us there twice. We play the biker bar. I do a head count in my head, like of course I have to. I'm so
Okay.
It was like $2 to get in, and I figured $3.25. That's what we made. Blunt did the count with me. So when we ended the gig, $3.25. So we go to the kitchen, and Lappage has the spatula. He's doing the dramatics. And I go, okay, so this is pretty crappy out here. Let's get out of here. And he kind of taps the spatula on the grill. And I go, how much do we make? And he goes, they fucked us. I was like, me and the Chip look at each other. I'm like, what? They fucked us. And I go, they fucked us. And he started doing all these dramatics, and I saw right through it. I was like, John, I counted it was
liar.
$3.25. What are you talking about? Because he was having to pay his rent.
Right.
And so we ended up getting like $50 from that.
Okay.
And that's when I started all right. But that's the gig you're talking about.
Yeah, and
So
I
wanted
remember
to get
our
out of
manager.
there.
I remember being a little afraid, but we won these guys
They
over.
started out rough on
It was
us.
probably John's drum solo, but
Yeah. They started out
yeah.
rough on us.
Yeah.
10-minute drum solo.
Yeah. And it was almost like a rolled off area that we played in. It was like
Yeah.
roped off in a weird way.
And then once you're done, they kind of forgot how good you were. So it's like, we should get out of here now.
We wanted to get out. Me and Trey were like,
and we were like 17 or 18
yes,
maybe.
17.
10-minute drum solo in the breakdown of Funk 49. And you would get up there
drums and
on
play
the
with him.
drums and play with him from
God,
behind.
He
playing the
was
toms.
something.
Yeah.
Because it's like, to me back then, it was kind of the Eddie Van Halen of teen bands.
Mm.
You know, you could let him play. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't hear this yesterday, but when Trey and I were doing the Battle of Bands Without You, we weren't doing well on the first song.
Okay.
So the second song, I go, drum solo.
We
So we do
knew.
dominant submission, and I was
Yep,
singing,
yep.
and in the middle of dominant submission, Keating goes, I don't play a drum solo. I go, well, you're going to do one. And he starts going into, and everybody was like, Gerardo came and sat right there. And I think it was one of the Doyle brothers for the first time looked at me and said, that guy is sadistic.
Mm-hmm.
He was on his game. But what was happening there, I think more so was it's to show that point of our lives was developing us into that. So let's talk post. So we have Neil in the band. It starts to get serious. Lappage is there. We break the band up. We go our separate way. We turn into the Grit Kids.
Right.
We take it much more seriously. We're 1 year out of high school because we're in college that first year. You went here, or did you go the first year?
I didn't go to college for a couple of years.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And so you didn't go to college. And what were you doing right after high school?
I started at SAC.
That's what I thought. And I did too, actually. But
Okay.
So post, you did Q the band. Y'all did Q with John. Who was Q? You, Lansing.
And John Keating for
And
a while,
John.
but then John didn't want to do it, so we kind of had a string of drummers.
So it was you and y'all went to Glenn's and cut a single.
Yes, that Glenn Smith.
Do you have it?
Trey
I have
sent us.
I want it.
the
Okay, we won't
version
play
of
it.
We did
Mrs. Robinson.
we did a cover of Mrs. Robinson.
It was pretty good, I remember.
It was
It was
pretty punk
before
rock.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for
It was
those.
long
No, it
before
was
anyone
good.
else.
Who sang?
Larry.
Oh yeah, I want to hear
I
that.
just sang.
I want to hear that
Lansing
for sure.
Did you not play guitar?
Not in the studio.
Because I remember when
didn't
when
need
it
me
when
to
it
play.
appeared, we were just kind of jamming on some chords, and then Larry just went to the microphone and started singing Mrs. Robinson. That we didn't have the plan to play the song at all. You just heard the chord. Do you remember this?
No, I don't.
You heard you were just kind of ding 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 ding,
Okay.
and then you just out of the blue he just started singing Mrs. Robinson.
And
over,
it became
over
a
the chorus.
staple of our set.
Oh, I want to hear that. I
It's
want to
good.
hear that.
It's
But
good.
before that, I had Lansing move down with me
Yeah,
because that had always been our dream to play. And you guys
Absolutely.
were nice enough. Well, we'll take him in the band.
yeah.
So we had 3 guitars for a
We
while.
did. That's
and
right.
We were,
We were
each
playing with
going to
Lansing.
have our own image. You had that idea.
Oh my God, I missed that one. I missed the own image. We did, huh?
Yeah.
You don't remember you had me wearing yellow overalls?
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
And Lansing, even from New York, though, was the surfer guy because he had blonde
Yeah,
hair.
blonde hair.
Oh,
You don't
I
remember
was
this.
supposed to be the punk
God.
rocker in a leather jacket, and
Yeah.
you were the rock star.
And what
Oh my.
Keating had
what
no
was
image.
Keating? Keating was imageless.
Oh, a little college kid.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
That was the Grit Kids.
Wow.
And we only did like 1 or 2 gigs, right?
We did like 3 or 4 with him.
But we played the Cars. We played like
Yeah.
3
Oh,
songs.
yeah, it was
we
great.
started doing more stuff that was coming out of that era,
Absolutely.
1980.
That's when I thought, in a weird way, at Chip Blunt's house, that we hit our stride. Our tightest hour was with Neil at my house in my bedroom.
Yes.
Even when we moved to the
Yes.
small bedroom, it wasn't as. There was something about the size of that big. Remember that bedroom? I was like a 20 by 40. I swear to gosh, it might have been a 15 by 24.
It was long.
Oh
right?
my
Yeah.
God, it was long. It was ridiculous. So that was where I thought, with the ambience, that we just flourished, because it was just such a great sounding
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
It had the attic that we'd open up, so it was just like incredible. Then we moved to the Dead Room. I wasn't really fond about how we sounded in there. And then when we moved to Chip Blunt's, with Lansing coming in, I was like, this sounds pretty good, as far as that's concerned. But then the Grit Kids, but I want to say one more thing about the Grit Kids. So we're playing Johnny B. Goods.
Yeah.
It's a Friday, Saturday night. Chip does a clicker.
Oh. Oh, because this was still with Lappage.
Lappage. This is our fight we had.
Oh, wow.
And he has a clicker. And Thursday night, Monday night, 12 people. Tuesday night, 15. Wednesday night, maybe 0. Thursday night, we had like 50. Friday night, we had 250.
Wow.
And then Saturday night, we killed it. We were all on a high. The next Saturday night, Neil couldn't sing. I sang that night.
Okay,
But
that's
that
right.
first Saturday night, Lappage, so Chip comes back and says, it's like $700 we made. And I went to the club owner and I asked him, what do you take in? He goes, about 750. And Lappage, he counted out to me 325. And so I went home to my house, and you asked me, where's the money? I go, I have it. So I count it out, and I confront him, and he has a breakdown. What are you talking about? I would never steal. And I'm like, there's no way around it.
Yeah.
You can't. And Blunt's like right there with me. We counted the money, and y'all are like, I don't think he would take the money. I'm like, oh my God! And I was throwing the money.
Wow.
Well, he
said he
money.
didn't take it.
Yeah.
He said he didn't take it, and I'm like, are you serious? Because Blunt's like, I asked the club guy.
Right. I remembered that guy.
Yeah, what $750 for the 2 nights, maybe $800, And I said to John, Chip's going to collect the door from now on, next weekend. And that was poison to him when I said it. We need Chris out of the band. And he was married, to my cousin.
No, I didn't know
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, he was married. He had Nicole, my cousin, my favorite cousin of all time, is his dad. So I know John since I was
That's
5
right.
years old. Yeah,
That's right.
I didn't know it at first when I met him, but
right.
the first night when he met us at Incarnate Word, he took me to 50-50. And I don't drink. I wasn't a drinker. And he got me drunk. And he had the contract out.
You're kidding.
Oh, it was greatness. He had like this little contract he had written. Let's sign it. And so I signed it. And the next morning I go to lunch with him at 50-50 again. I said, I want to revoke that contract. I want to do another one. No, this is a binding agreement. So he's dead. So I had to get you all on my side on this one. So I take just as much responsibility.
Side note, because you just reminded me, you and I are distant cousins.
We are.
Through Karams.
Through the Karams.
They're my cousins.
Yes, they are. We are distant
And
cousins.
they're your cousins?
Yes.
Right.
They're my cousins.
That's funny,
Isn't
right?
that
We never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or we never thought about it.
But Lappage was a blast because remember, at Incarnate Word, he told me, he got on the payphone. Y'all never heard this. He goes, He goes, I got y'all booked in Florida, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I just tell my mom, I'm not finishing 11th grade. John Lappage.
God.
She called John up and let him have it.
Oh, because she knew him.
Of course, she grew up with
Yeah,
him. Her and Karen, when he married, they got married. And she knew him very well.
I'd forgotten where he came from.
Yeah, he came from the UK. He actually did work.
No, I mean through you.
He did work through the. He did work with the Pistons. He did work on the stuff he said, but as a
Okay.
promoter.
Right.
And he wasn't lying about the Florida gigs. It's just that my mom was like, well, I'll send the FBI out.
Yeah.
She told him. That he wasn't lying about, but just he had to show the showmanship of acting like he was on the payphone, that night.
Okay.
It's like you're young. We're young. We're like, goodness. Have you ever seen the movie The Thing You Do? That Thing You Do with
Yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Hanks?
Yeah. About
You got to
the
watch
Beatles
it.
kind
The
of
Beatles
band.
band. No, you got to watch it. It's us.
Yeah.
You've got to watch this. Keating's the drummer.
Yeah.
Go watch That Thing You Do that Tom Hanks produced. He's the manager in the band.
Oh, heavens.
Oh God! And a guy pulls up in a truck to sign them, and he feeds them beans in his camper, and the bass player's like, "Just sign the contract." Look at this guy. He's feeding us beans. So
Wow.
it's great.
I got to see that. I mean, he did you see the Elvis film with him?
No.
It's really good.
Oh no, the Elvis film with who?
With Austin.
Oh God, I watched it 10 times.
Yeah, when Tom Hanks is Colonel.
Oh, I
is
love
the
it.
Colonel.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. I love that movie. So
And Lappage, I mean, once we became Q, he booked us some pretty dodgy military gigs too.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Q real
Very
quick in the
dodgy.
last part of this interview. So I want to focus on you two a little bit in Q and post you real quick while we have the left time. So y'all do Q. You go into Glenn's studio, which I was very impressed with. I was angry and mad at you and never wanted to speak to you again. But I was so happy. But one day Lappage calls me because my mom said, you better make it with Chris. He's going to make your life miserable. So he calls me and invites y'all to the gig. Y'all played some party, and I went over to John and said, they sound pretty good. Y'all had some other drummer, though.
We
was
did.
horrible.
We had.
Yeah, he was horrible.
Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said to John, except the drummer, what are you doing? You don't have Keating.
I have an awesome photo shoot of us where it's like the three good-looking young guys, and then Tony's like his head is as big as the three of us.
And he was terrible. I don't know why we settled with him.
And y'all played a gig.
Couldn't
And
find
Lappage
anyone
said,
else.
the funniest line that me and Chip Leek say to each other all the time, he goes, I know what you're thinking. you think they suck? And I said, no, I just think the drummer's horrible.
Yeah.
I said, and he goes, I'm going to have them climbing the walls for these guys. And I go, well, they're playing a backyard party right now. I wouldn't be too, and it's my cousin's party, your ex-wife. So I wouldn't be too, it's a pool party for kids. I wouldn't be saying I'm going to have them climbing the walls. And I said, I mean, we were doing far better shows. Anyway, but y'all sounded good and y'all were believable, but the drummer was bad.
And so everyone knows. So Trey and Keating left with me to form Q. And, subsequently, I felt real bad about that, too.
I know, you're a good guy.
But you needed to, it turns out you needed to do the kids, man.
I needed to do my own thing.
You saw success.
No, I just needed to do my own thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was evident. But so y'all three form Q. You go in the studio, which I was very impressed with. So really, the forming of Q helped me because that's how I met Glenn.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm glad that happened. And tell me a little bit about your life post that. So let's say Q goes for a while. Lappage books y'all.
Right.
You do a single. And how long would you say it lasted?
A
Lasted
year?
about over a year.
Yeah.
Close to 2 years.
We did Johnny B. Good's. We did that regularly too.
Yeah.
And then
It lasted close to 2 years.
Lappage was getting us these military gigs, and like pretty weird gigs. I don't know how he was doing that, but the one
Dean Bell booked those.
the
Glenn,
one-
that's how you met Glenn. Dean
In
Bell
the
was-
mess hall. In the mess hall.
yeah, like the mess hall,
They
and
were
then
really
one
big.
there was up north. I don't know if you remember this. We were gonna,
Killeen.
2 nights, and we were going to be the first band in like 10 years. They had a jukebox in the officers club, and we were going to be the first band, and he booked us in, and do you remember playing this gig? We stayed up there in some shitty little hotel.
Okay.
John was not there. They moved the jukebox off the stage. We set up, and it was the officers club, and at this point we were playing like Iggy and Talking Heads, and they hated us. They hated us. We were playing. There were like maybe, it's like their one night to go out with a date, and these guys in their full, their military suits, and
Oh my God.
and we're playing, and I can't remember what else we were doing, like pretty punky stuff, and like something like hits me or something. I'm not sure what it is, and then I realized they were shooting bottle caps at us, and then at one point there was a guy kind of trying to slow dance with his girlfriend, like a colonel or a general or
Good
something,
Lord.
and he's like, and I'm like, I'm playing, we're playing Joe Jackson or something, and he's like, come on, I'm trying to play, and he's like, you turn that fucking down right now. I'm gonna kick your ass. And I'm like, okay. And so I go back to you guys and
Spinal
like,
tap.
and then the thing that I remember
The
most is
military
at some
days.
point,
Yeah,
somehow,
you liking this?
somebody grabbed a roll of toilet paper, and they like the dance floor was empty now, and I just saw a roll of toilet paper roll towards the stage. So we finished the gig, and there's like maybe 8 people who thought we were amazing.
That's good though.
And we go back to our hotel room, and we're like, okay, we're going to let them have it tomorrow night. We like ripped our shirts, put lots of makeup on. We go back for sound check, and the jukebox, our gear is gone, and the jukebox is back on the stage. And they're like, you guys are done. So we're like, okay, fine.
That's a great fucking story.
As Q,
That's a classic story.
we played one really good show, San Antonio College. That was a good show.
Yeah.
We were just starting. We had that together. Tony didn't mess up too bad. Pat Kelly wrote us up in the Ranger.
Yep.
We thought, hey, we're really going places. That was a fun show.
We
played,
had another drummer, too, at the very end.
Yeah, Mark, a
Yeah.
guy I had found who
Yeah.
lived near me.
We were actually rehearsing. Do you remember this? And I'm not going to say his name, but we were rehearsing at a friend of mine's him and his dad grew weed in a warehouse in Alamo Heights.
We were playing right.
and we were playing right in the like 16-foot high stalks of weed.
We were their cover.
Yeah, I was like, "Are you sure this is cool?" I was like, "No, it's great because it'll look like the band's rehearsing back here.
We
We're not
rehearsed there a long
growing
time.
like Sinsemilla, like 12-foot stalks." And so when I
You
remember,
can't make that shit up.
so when and I remember when we auditioned Mark, Tony's drum kit was there, and we actually had him come play on Tony's drum kit. And when Tony found out, he was so... And of course,
Don't touch my drums, Tony. That's what you call
we bring
him.
somebody in, and are like, yeah, there's a little bit of weed here. There's like 150 plants of weed with hydroponics and grow lights. I was like, just pretend you're not seeing that. We're just here to play, and okay, yeah, you can take a couple of bags.
I got to make an AI of that one with y'all. I got to make an AI image of that.
We played 2 really good shows at Trinity at their little club, the Rathskeller,
Yep.
with Steve McCloy from the Vamps on drums.
That's right.
That really gelled
Yeah,
with
yeah,
him.
Steve
He
was
was
great.
a very simple
And
Charlie Watts style drummer.
And he played that. He understood the music.
Yeah,
Tony
that
didn't
really
understand the music.
gelled.
Yeah.
Well, y'all were smart in that y'all influenced me, because although I was pissed off, one day, I'll never forget this, Lappage told us that he called me after my mom said, you better make up with him. And he goes, I want you to come out and see Q play tonight at this dive. And I'm not joking. It was down Farm Road 478. You went out Riddiman Road, and then you hit a dark road, and you took a right, and you drove forever towards, I guess, Lackland or Randolph. I don't know which one. And literally in the middle of nowhere, there was a ice house. And it had, beer and Q. And so me and Blunt go out there.
How did he get these gigs?
But I was going to say, I got to hand it to him. He
His
really,
mouth. He talked his way into
When
them.
I got him for us because he started getting us gigs.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, the contract's okay because we're going to get gigs. So he did his job on that. I'm never going to say that. He was good at that. We had a good time talking about him and I. 1995 when I came back from LA for a party, I ran into him at a New Year's Eve party, and we had the best laugh on that stuff.
Good.
Oh, it was greatness. We were laughing so hard. We had a
Wow.
blast on the floor. I'm like, that was so funny. He was cracking up. And later on, I talked to him a bunch after that. So I drive out, and I swear to gosh, I remember I had my black car, and I think, and there's not a car in sight. So I pull in, and it's rocky, Larry. I didn't see y'all's cars, so I'm like, no, they must have been canceled. So I go in.
I didn't have a car.
Okay.
I rode in the back of Trey's little
I didn't see. It must have been in the back.
Pickup truck or something.
It was a red
little
floor.
blue pickup.
So you walk in, and there y'all are, and then there's beer for sale to the right. Never forget, it was roped off, and I felt bad, so I paid the cover, like $2. Blunt was with me. We paid the cover. I'm like, what a fucking waste of money. And I paid the cover, and y'all were playing a song. Y'all were punked out. Y'all were kind of real punked out.
Mm-hmm.
Sounded good. It was pretty good. And I don't know why I gave Chip the beer I didn't want to drink. And we stayed. I stayed and talked to John for a second. Y'all were playing. Y'all were you were really doing your thing really well, meaning y'all believed what y'all were doing. And that sat with me. To me, I was faking stuff. I'd be like, but to me, I was like, I learned something that night. I was like, I get in the car and Chip goes, they don't sound good. I go, well, the drummer's not any good, but they sound really good. I mean, they're really good. All of them really, I think they're good. I said, I disagree. And he calls me Willie the Weasel. Willie, you don't think they're good? Yeah, I'm not joking. We're driving back and I'm doing my analytics on y'all. But I wasn't that. I was like, they're playing out. They went in the studio. I like some of the things that they're doing, meaning, I'm glad that we're both doing our own things, but I'm digging, kind of going and watching them. And really, in a weird way, that one gig at that ice house, and I swear to gosh, I don't know if you remember.
Was there anyone else there?
There might have been a girl there, a couple of girls dancing, maybe they were all friends or something.
We probably brought them.
Yeah, they might have been like 6 people. I don't mean anybody.
Probably.
But I didn't see any cars, which freaked me out.
Yeah.
So, and the guy said this to me. This was the classic. I said, so how do you think they're doing? Because, of course, I'm a competitor. So how do you think they're doing? Because we're doing great. We don't get many people out here.
Okay.
And there was like 6.
It was a successful night.
Y'all were playing. I guess they liked you. And he liked you. He was a younger, kind of a long-haired dude. And he's like, no, it's great.
It was fun. We were really roughing it. Lansing and I didn't have cars. We went everywhere in the back of Trey's little Toyota or something. Little blue mini pickup. Lansing never had money to eat. Trey would buy Lansing a hamburger.
Or he would we would go to a restaurant and he would run away and not pay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We did that at Luby's.
Or
a few
we'd go,
times.
yeah, he'd go to Wendy's
didn't
and
have a
buy the
job.
salad bar and then like take the whole salad bar home in a takeaway thing.
But what happened was, so Lappage was going to take us to New York. That was his plan.
I love it.
This was near the end. And I was really cocooning with, I had met my future wife.
Right.
I actually met her at one of our shows.
Okay.
Sabrina Laumer introduced her to me.
Okay.
She came to see our band,
Yeah.
Regent,
Yep.
Rick's. But I was like becoming the homebody. Trey was going to leave the band, is what I recall.
Okay.
And was like, no, I don't think we can do New York. Well, this isn't going to work out.
With Lappage.
And so I just kind of said, yeah, screw this. We
Wow.
can't do it anymore. So it just fell
And
apart.
was John back playing with us at that point? Or
He was running sound with me.
oh, that's
Oh.
right.
And playing drums with kids.
No, he just ran sound.
Okay.
I didn't want him in the band. I was chasing Billy for 2 years.
Okay.
I'd
Okay.
seen Billy with Regent. I saw Billy. We opened for Billy's band. Then I saw Billy at a keg party for the kids, and I wanted Billy day one.
Okay.
I saw him first with Lifus at Razzle Dazzle. We played that gig. We opened for them.
Okay.
And they were a young band. The singer I didn't like, but Billy was good. I saw him with us,
Okay.
with Regent. I have a photo from that night.
Okay.
My favorite guitar photos. And then I saw him about a month later with his brother's jazz band playing a keg party. And I singled in on him. And so when John went to go to Trinity, right?
Yeah.
I said, I'll give you, when you start running sound for me, I'll give you $100 a night, which was a ton.
Right.
And so he stuck by me a little bit. And I said, you can record us, but I'll give you $100 and you get a minimum guarantee. We weren't even playing live.
Yeah.
But I thought if I paid him, he would kind of come over to the house and use his little recorder we had and help us. So me and Ed paid him.
Yeah.
And you and Lansing came by right before you went to college. You knocked on my door, you, Lansing, and Keating, and I have a photo that I'm going to show from that day.
Okay.
Him
Yeah.
and John showed up at my door, and they knocked on the door and just came in.
That's right.
And you were there.
I don't think I was.
Okay, then Lansing was there. Lansing was with him. And it was great. We had a great time talking. It was
Right.
awesome. And it was a great night. I'll never forget it. And you said you were going to go to college. That you would.
And plus, Trey was getting more involved with the Guitar Institute.
Yeah.
Like he had
Yeah.
began to master the guitar. And so you were more into going into
I
that
remember that. He was
direction.
getting a guitar.
We didn't have a good drummer. We just fell apart.
Yeah.
But
It was
I
hard
do
to
want
know
to
where-
show. I wanna
And also, the thing is, as good as John was, he was not the right drummer for you.
show absolutely.
Right,
I knew it when
right.
y'all said that.
Yeah.
It's funny
Yeah.
you say that.
He
'cause-
doesn't have he's too fiddly.
Thank you. And I went to his house to tell him that personally,
Oh, good for you.
just to tell him that you better not join that band because you are not the right drummer for that band. That is a la la la. And he's like, I can play anything. I go, no, you're not. You don't even fit image-wise. But anyway, so let's go real quick. I want to talk a little post. So post that, you go. I want to cover your life a little bit. We'll go through it quickly, but even though it's not a quick life.
No, that's okay.
No,
I can
no.
go through it quickly.
Okay, so you go to college. You're after Q. What do?
I didn't really play music for 5 years.
So let's say
I
to-
just became a house husband.
whatever, 25, 26 years old, you get back into
Yeah.
music.
I moved to Los Angeles.
Yes, you did.
Same time as you.
Yes.
A little after you. A little before you.
Okay.
A little after you.
A little after me because I was
Little
already in my
after
house. I was in my second house by then.
I had a really good time for a few years in Los Angeles. I played in 2 different bands. We didn't really do much. We did play some little clubs on the Sunset Strip. My little 6 degrees of separation story is we played this one club called the Central,
I love the Central. It's a famous club.
where Chuck E. Wise
Yeah, we
would play
played there.
every Monday,
Yep.
like the song Chuck E's in Love, they're written
Yes.
about him. And that club, later Johnny Depp bought it and turned it into the Viper Room.
Right.
But when we played it, it was the Central.
Well, the Doors started there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, everyone
Wow.
started there.
Okay.
The Doors, everyone.
I remember we reconnected.
Yes, we did.
I came to see your band
Yes.
do a showcase at a big club. Your mom came out for it.
Yep.
I sat at the table with her.
Yep.
We had a great time. Then when my mom came to visit me, we both drove out to your house in the Hollywood Hills and
Yeah.
visited you.
Yes, you did. I remember that
Yeah.
day distinctly. So after L.A., you go back to San Antonio.
I moved back here. I started a band, which later, without me, I left after a couple of years, actually became really big regionally, called Sons of Hercules.
Yes, they're very big.
Very big band.
Is that with Frank?
With Frank.
Oh yeah, Frank was awesome.
Yeah, I ended up playing with him. They still do reunion shows.
Wow.
So Sons of Hercules, you started that band.
Started it with Frank.
So it shows you had the great vision.
And that band, his earlier band, Trey and Lansing, played on a great double single of theirs.
Yeah, the first
After
the
Q.
first pressed album I
Yeah.
did.
With the eyes on the cover.
Vamps, yeah.
They don't do you no good. Come move my head one. Because when you get there, it's time for you.
I can't remember what happened with why they didn't have a bass player, but for some reason they didn't have a bass player
Right.
for the
Or
recording.
lead.
But you'll love this. And I can't remember. We recorded it out at like some studio.
I came and visited while you were recording.
Some studio that like was an old Texas swing studio from the 50s. And they had already, because Joe was Frank's brother.
Joe
Yeah,
Puglisi.
Joe Puglisi.
And a cool hustler. And I ran into him on the road. He was working for Dolly Parton.
Yeah, he was working also for Jack Orban at Stone City Attractions.
But anyway, the Vamps' first single they made before us, what was the drummer's name?
Steve McCloy.
Steve. So they said you're going to love this.
Oh, God,
they
I'm gonna love
recorded the single, 2 songs. They pressed the vinyl, and they're listening to the vinyl, and Steve's like, is my kick? I can't really hear the kick drum. And they go back, and the engineer forgot to unmute the kick drum.
Yeah, they had
And it's
not
not on
mic'd the kick drum. So all you had was...
That's a classic.
And it's still pretty good, but it's
Oh,
like,
that's great.
Because it's a great recording.
That's great. So you played on the Vamps.
I don't even think I ever did any shows with them or not.
No, Lansing did.
Lansing good shows, yeah. They just
Okay,
needed
so-
a bass player for the show.
So now you have Sons of Hercules, Frank singing,
Right.
and then you have that band. And how many years did you go into that band? Was
2
that
years.
2
I played
years.
with them for 2
Frank
years.
is super charismatic.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, of course, yes. He was married to who I grew up with.
That's
Beanie's.
right.
Yeah, I knew Frank when they
Beanie.
met.
And he got Sid Vicious's
Guitar strap.
guitar strap
Yes,
at
he
that
did.
Sex Pistol
Oh,
gig.
boy.
Because
And
his
he
band
said, I will
opened...
never sell this.
Never.
I will never sell
His
this.
band opened that show.
Right.
Pistols.
And they did a documentary on him.
What was the band?
They just did a documentary
yeah.
on Frank's
30
band.
years of
Yeah.
Spit and Fire.
What was the band? That
They,
wasn't...
they just called them the Boys. They didn't have a name.
Okay.
But on the Kiss, they said, plus the Boys. You took me over to Frank's to meet him
Yes, I did.
when we were just getting
Yeah.
together.
And because he married Beanie.
That's how
was-
you knew him.
Yeah, when I grew up with Beanie. She was my babysitter when I was from
And
8
he
years old.
played us the little Beehive singles.
Yes, he
the
did.
ones with no bass
Uh-huh.
kick drum.
After that you were here and you started a video company, or you did video work.
It's funny. Neil Castile and I ended up in the same line of work.
The singer from Regent.
Yes, the singer from Regent. I would see him sometimes doing his. We both owned video production companies specializing in legal stuff.
And that was great because I saw you later on with that. Neil came by the studio one time in 1990 when I arrived back from Hollywood, 97 or 8. And he came in and we talked. And then since then, I cannot find him anywhere on any name search. Castile. How do you spell Castile?
You've told
Different
me
ways.
that.
Castillo.
Yeah?
I mean, right? I, for the life of me, cannot find an. I'm not saying this to be mean, an obituary.
No, it's crazy.
nothing.
Just
Zero.
disappeared. Wow.
Wow.
And you haven't...
No, I ran
He
into him probably
disappeared.
25 years ago. At a,
Now, when he came back to see me in '98, he came by one day. I realized how much older he was than us.
Mm,
I think he might have divulged it, but it was substantially.
mm-hmm.
He might have even been. Now that I remember, he told me because he looked a lot older. That when I
and
saw
how
him.
much shorter?
God, he was so
Yeah.
short. He stayed the same
It
physique.
didn't. We were short back then too,
Yeah,
so
but
it
he
didn't
was,
really matter.
He was tiny.
But
Um,
he stayed that way.
But boy, was he a good singer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, for
really
cover
good.
material, he was something else. And I always said this. I always told Neil, like, you have the voice, you could do something, but you have the mentality of San Antonio. Sorry. I don't mean that in a mean way. I just am anti that mentality. Because if somebody's that good at that age and he
They should
wants
go
to,
somewhere.
yeah, do something with it. Even if you join like a band where you can make money and do your career. Because he could have sang with so many pro bands. You could be, look what Mike did at Heyoka before he passed. He went and did commercials. All those commercials, Jordan Ford, all of that is his voice. That's Mike. Mike was used in the studio constantly. Like he was one of the #1 commercial singers.
Our drummer Keating, didn't he go on to do some commercial music?
He moved to, what happened was the night before we were leaving for Hollywood, I want to say this one story. The night the kids, now going to change their name, are going to go to Hollywood, Billy, we're packing up the drums. I'm taking it off on my own because we finally found a place. I got to rent. They won't rent to Texas people. So I had to stay underneath an elevator shaft at a hotel secretively. I paid my fucking dues.
Yeah, sounds like it.
And then Julie stayed there in the the elevator would go down
Jesus.
Hollywood on Highland Avenue. Finally talked to a Chinese girl, I made to say this because she couldn't speak English, into renting me a place by begging her on Melrose. She owned a clothing shop. She let me. I said, I swear to God, I'll pay you the rent. I won't move anything in the condo for a month, for 2 months if you want. I'll live there alone, and you'll get your rent. Then when you're convinced, I'll move the stuff. And after a month, she let us bring the stuff. The night we were leaving, Billy says, I can't go, and starts shaking. We had showcased for Rick Springfield's manager. He loved Billy. We were going to get a deal with him. We were going up there. I had a heart attack. I drove by Keating's at 12:30 at night, and I begged him. And I said, you can hang out with your brother. I didn't want him on drums. But I begged him to go, and I don't know how I did it.
That's right.
I not only begged him, you're going to die laughing, I found the 6-page contract that I had George Mauzé already prepared for L.A., had him sign it that night.
Wow.
He got free rent for 6 months, but he had to play in the band. He had he modified how many hours he had to play. And he would get up in L.A. and get ready for work at Borax,
Right.
down in the valley. Loved driving in traffic in L.A., don't know why.
Okay.
And would get up and say, I'll be back at 7 o'clock at the condo. He moved up there with me. And I'm like,
Right.
that's not how it works. Right. So we immediately started butting heads. But he was my drummer. We did Madame Wong's with him. We did Santa
wow.
Monica College Amphitheater with him. We did another show. And then I'm like, Ed's time to get an L.A. drummer.
Yeah.
I ran an ad, and I kicked John out on the 6th month.
Okay.
I was like,
Go home.
yeah. He went to Clover Studios, Bruce Springsteen's place, with us. He did the programming with me on the drums. He wanted to come and witness this big producer working with us and all of that. So I let him do that. He was an asset during that.
Okay.
And then after that, the 6th month,
Yeah.
day one,
Right.
I was like, you're out next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we kind of hung out a little bit, but I won't tell
But
you.
he found some success musically.
No, I don't. Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. Actually.
I think he told me he was doing like the intro music to some news programs or something.
Oh well, maybe yeah.
That
Then I
kind
don't
of
know.
thing.
Then good.
Yeah.
And we saw him at the reunion, you and I, in 2009.
Yeah. He was, I think, a pretty successful game designer.
That's what I mean. No, he's
Okay.
success,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
didn't know he did a lot of music.
Yeah.
But let's not short John of anything. Talented as all hell, could do anything he wants.
Yeah. We wouldn't have been Regent.
He was.
We wouldn't have been the same.
Oh God, are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
The second I saw y'all play, I was like, okay, John's good.
And to be honest, when I think nowadays of good musicians and they aren't trying to be pros, I'm like, you go, man. That's the way to do it. Good call. Good call on you.
Well, I can't watch. I'm watching this teen movie called The Runarounds on Prime, and a lot of it reminds me of us. It's about a young band and eager to make it, except their music for their time is actually pretty good. It's pop junk, but it's, well, I guess who they hired to write it was pretty good, like the Monkees. But actually, it's interesting because it's an interesting story about a really good drummer and then the band, and they wanted this drummer. So every time I watch it, she goes, why are you watching them? Like, kind of reminds me of us. Every story like that reminds me of us. It's a unique story, a unique, cool story. We all come from Alamo Heights. It would have been cool if we broke out together. And if one of us was a power singer, it would have been fantastic, But we were influenced by the right music because we had an influx of so many different kinds, and we were just open to stuff back then. There wasn't really any one way we did it.
And it was the time for bands, really.
God, it was.
Yeah, it was.
God, it was. Yeah. And you could play, and there were clubs and venues. And I do want to get the cue music, please.
Okay.
And any photos you have, I'd love to have. If you have one.
I think, of that, yeah. I think most of the Regent stuff, you already have my stuff.
Yeah,
you have more
I don't
than
have
me.
much more.
But I have some.
The Regent photos are great.
Isn't
to
that great?
see. I love
Do
seeing
you know
them.
that?
I'm so glad we took so many pictures.
I was always
amazing.
a photographer.
You kept them.
I kept. Well, what happened was I come home that night. I sent you those, and Julie's like, "Hey, I took that tub out, and I found that, and I'm like going through it, me and Ed's stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, the 8x10 prints of you and me and Trey.
Yeah.
God, I love it. And I found 2 Regent T-shirts that I got. I was going to bring. Julie had them ready for me to bring. I forgot.
Like red lettering
And
with
then I
the
had
lips.
But my
with a
first
kiss?
one I made was a blue jersey, because I walked in the practice room all proud.
Okay.
And I showed y'all it, and y'all were like, that's not a T-shirt. And I had like a baseball jersey, and it said really Regent, and John was like, no, it's not it. John's the one that gave me that idea.
Okay.
So he liked those shirts. So I went and did it, John. Then John sided with y'all. Yeah, that's not a good idea. He drank his shake. But I wanted to have you on. So real quick, did you join any other bands after that, the video company?
I did. I played in another band for like 3 years called Molotov Cox.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So you stayed true to your whole, what you grew up.
This was real melodic, but more punk rock.
So a musician at heart's what you call yourself,
I guess so.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't call you anything else, right? All of us. We remained true to what we do, and I think that band made that, happen.
I'm just now getting more into music again. I spent a long time away from it. You guys are my brush with success.
Well,
I'm so
I
proud
think-
and happy to see the success
yeah.
you guys have made.
Well, let's say it this way. That with that diving into the things that we did comes a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, the life you live is a passion you have is for your kids and it's for your loved ones, but it's also really directed to your music and what you do for a living. And
I had a lot of distractions. You probably remember I started bringing quarts of beer to practice
You did.
at an early age.
You did.
That was not good for me.
Yeah. And so, and I don't know why. I drank a bunch of nights a couple of times in high school and went, nah, it just didn't do it
Right.
for me. I just was like, not my thing. Didn't, wasn't into any of that. Just my thing was this. I'm turning 18.
Time's running out.
Time's running out.
You're gonna die soon.
We're
You better get going.
Yeah.
He's so right. Because I remember meeting
I mean,
Julie
come on. You're gonna be 19. It's gonna be over.
when I met
And I
Ju-
remember telling you once, it's okay with me if I don't really make it till I'm like 32. And Chris had like a stroke
Seizure.
practically. Like,
I
you
just-
can't think that way.
Are
That's
you
wrong.
serious?
That's wrong.
No,
Something's wrong with you.
I stayed away from how many times I never forget that you used to look down because you'd be like, you're crazy. I walked in and lectured y'all. I mean, I told Julie the things that I said. I have some notes on it.
Oh, I bet you do.
I have diary.
Okay.
It says, summer 77. Went into practice room, screamed at band how they're not serious about it. Larry laughed, but wasn't laughing in a funny way, in a nervous way. Trey
Okay.
ignored me. Later on said I need to gel out or something like that. But the reason for that was Chip was exposing me to that stuff. And I thought, well, we can be that, not knowing how hard it takes to do that.
And a lot of luck.
And a lot of luck.
A lot of luck.
And the thing was that Chip was getting the inside stories. Like, they would sell shirts and I'd say, well, ask David how they made it. And he'd say, well, we flyered and we did this. And so I'd run in the practice room with knowledge that we couldn't do. We weren't in Hollywood.
We got a flyer.
We got to do this. And you're like, well, where would we flyer? So my point is could only be influenced by what I
7-Elevens.
heard. So, but I was so intense that I would call Trey with sometimes 6 times with song suggestions, changes, contract ideas. Let's change the PA contract. Let's don't let Neil do this. I realized could have gelled out. But I realized you're right. You're right. I love what he said. We're 18. I'm gonna die soon. That's exactly what I thought like.
I love seeing your contracts now. You send me
that's
the
great.
pictures. You put it on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I could have gelled out a little bit, but I really thought we were that good. I mean, I knew we were.
Then I could have been a little more serious.
Well, that's what got me
like-
about y'all. Y'all were so like I knew. God, these guys are so good. You know, they're so good. And in ways, I would go in the practice room thinking, well, they're a lot. Y'all are better than I am. So because y'all started before this band before I did, so it's kind of like, let's go. But so I did kind of show that intenseness. I have some notes on that where we got into it on that. So you'll know. Keating got me in the car one day and lectured me about, I just really don't really know if I ever want to do music. And I almost, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I sped him around
I remember
Terrell
him.
Hills and scared the fuck out of him in the car so he wouldn't say that again. Okay, I'll never say it again. Grandview Street, I'd go real fast and stop. And then he started getting all nervous. But
What do you mean?
yeah, but you had a major influence on me. So did you, Trey. And I think we all had
likewise.
a love for each other that was deep and still there. And there's such a sacrifice to what you have to do in the business.
Okay.
So that's the price you pay. Is that you have to be able to go through some really low moments and stay stable. So that's kind of cliff diving, as I call it.
I think that's why John didn't want. I think that may be, and we'd have to ask him, but he probably lied to us. I think he it was always about the life, and we're like, dude, you can have. At least we were like, you can have whatever life you want.
Yeah.
But for him, and maybe it came from his parents or just seeing us, he was like, nah, I don't want to. And I have other friends that I've met since then who had a chance or did play with like super high level pros. They're like, these guys are messed up. I don't want to do this. I
Right.
don't want to be a musician.
No, John would tell me
I
that.
would think that they would have thought that these guys had really good lives, and there's like, nah, they don't have great lives.
Well, the irony of all that is that the funny thing is that John ended up doing cutting a deal with me to run sound. We were playing I would say
He was making more money.
Yeah, he was making no joke.
Okay.
Joe, John told me this one time. I'll never admit it. I swear he said this. He said, "I paid my way, all my food, all my gas, all the things that I did in Trinity through your playing." Because when he would threaten to leave running sound, I'd say, "Okay, I'll work someone," and he never would. Because he got $125 to $160 a night.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
So if you did 4 nights, we were doing I look back at our books, we were doing 3 to 6 nights a week. At the peak, 4 to 6.
Wow.
So, and at the low, 2. I look at the weeks, those 80s before I left for Hollywood, he was making the minimum 240, 275, the maximum 600. So
Yeah.
why would I? And his deal was run sound, no setup except the board.
Oh, cool.
So he could only set up the board
I won't
and the
coil
effects,
any cables.
And then he played keyboards from the stand and he sang. He wanted to sing backgrounds.
Oh, really? From the
And then we let him
the
sing.
mixer board?
Yes. And then we let him take. And then he conned me into one song. He'd come up in a leather jacket and sing "On the Dark Side,"
Wow.
which was the John Beaver Cafferty song from the movie
Yeah.
Eddie and the Cruisers. So
On
John
the dark
would
side.
sing the
He was
intro.
like a special guest.
He'd sing the intro from the board, and then he'd run on stage and sing
that
the
is hilarious.
thing. And he did his hair like poofed it up. It was great. And then, because when he threatened to leave, I'd say, "Okay, anybody will run sound for us now, playing 4 nights a week." He would never go. So one day he said to me, he never admitted it, but he said, I think it was in L.A., he said, I'm paying my way through college. He didn't mean his college, but he meant
But all his expenses.
all of his expenses.
Good.
And remember, John never ate at home. Seriously.
Okay.
He ate out every day.
Yeah.
So it's funny that we did stay connected. Isn't that funny? But I was smart in that I knew he was going to go to Trinity to lock him in as my so-called sound man.
Right.
I thought I need him kind of around. He's so
Yeah.
he knew Ford. I just thought I'm going to pay him
Yeah.
while we're broke. It's like I did with my drummer and my bass player and the kids. when we started, we were making $250 to $300. The only paid gig was $800. Our first gig. We thought that was going to last. Mike and Billy said to me, I'm living in a mobile home. I need to have my payment. And Mike said, I'm living in an apartment. And they demanded that I give them $100, which went to $125 a night. And that night I cut the deal. So if I give you $100 during the startup of this band, that's where it remains. Tops at $130. They said, yes, you're never to ask what we make a night. Yes, sign it. They both signed it. Fast forward a year and a half later, we're at Pappy's making $4,300 cash a night. Wow. And lines out the door because it was after football games we would play.
Okay.
Thursday and Friday nights. Started at $321. Ended up $4,800. Pete and I at Pappy's running to each other at HEB all the time. We laughed. He got the receipts of what I was getting. I put a wad of $4,800 on my console TV. I'd peel off $125 and drive it to Billy at the store. What do we make? None of your fucking business.
Yeah. Here's a copy of the contract.
I would never tell him because we had to make like $6,000 last night. No, it was not $6,000, but it doesn't matter. There's your mobile home payment.
There you go.
Never. But during the times we had to pay him, we played the bottom exchange. We made $120. So I went out to pay him and Mike.
Right.
Our pockets.
Right.
We were broke.
Yeah.
Right.
So I just said to Ed, it'll all even out. Same with John. Had to pay John.
Right.
I'd give him $100. So when we made $300, I'd say, I got to save the money to pay John and Billy. So sometimes those things that business side can work for you.
Right.
Because if it wasn't for that, Larry, I wouldn't have got to L.A. Right. Because during that time, Ed and I that's when we banked. We saved our account up to $51,000.
Wow. Yeah. That was your move money.
But we split Whataburger and ate one meal a day for a year. One hamburger, my bad, and the 99-cent 7-Eleven ham and cheese sandwich. And I've got to send you all this before we go. Me and Ed wrote $1 checks for gas for 3 years. So we would go to 7-Eleven, and I'm going to show them to you.
Wow.
And you'd see Chris and Ed, $1. What the fuck? It was 99 cents. We would put $1 in the tank and go do what we had to do. And then the next day, because we're like, that's $1 tomorrow.
Wow.
At least you had a checking account. I thought it was real adult. Trey was the only one of us that had a checking account.
Yeah, I had one finally.
Yeah.
But we saved every dime, and if it wasn't for those deal-making deals, that's it. So when you all look at your contracts, don't argue with me.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I don't ever sign contracts.
That's where you were going to go with me. See, I was going to be like, Trey, now I know you're writing all the songs, but you're only getting $200 a night because that's what you want. I'm just teasing. But I love you. I love you,
Chris.
And
it's cool to do this.
And I want to please get all the things that we need to put on this, please, to me.
Yeah.
Okay?
Awesome.
And we'll break this up into series, like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Okay, good.
I'm going to do Q.
It's been fun.
John Lappage.
It's been great.
All right.
So you don't see Lappage anymore?
No, he died.
He did?
Okay.
Yeah, he died.
Here? Was he living here?
He moved. I talked to him a bunch before that. It's funny. I talked to Lappage. I was, after that meeting with him, we had a blast. I would call him randomly. I would just say he went and sold Jags.
Yeah.
He went and sold
That's right.
Ferraris, I think. And then he met a girl. He married her. He moved to, I want to say Louisiana, and he was healthy. And Nikki called me one day and said he died. I told him he should write a book. About yourself. Just write something.
Things that I made up, lies that I have told.
Oh God, the spatula on the grease thing at the biker ball was the best.
Yeah.
He came up with our name,
That's right.
Q, because
Yeah, he told me.
Standing in
you
a
have to get
queue.
in line for these guys.
They're climbing the walls.
He did get us on the news once, on the local news.
That's right. She
They
came out to Johnny B. Goods.
And we
No,
played a song for them.
John would have been a great asset. I mean, his brain was wired
And just
to do
his
this.
bravado to keep saying something is so awesome, and like you're gonna miss out if you don't jump on this now.
God, I would
Right.
laugh. Like when that was the best moment in my life. Was I walked in the party, the birthday party, and I thought I would feel like I would say like, screw these guys. They're playing my, but instead I walk in and I hear y'all playing and the songs were good. And I'm like, but the drummer was throwing me off. So I walk in and I felt kind of weird, like why did John book them here? I was mad at John because y'all are my buddies,
Right.
and I was really pissed at him. So when he comes over to me, he's like, I go, what the? I said this to him. What the fuck are you doing booking them here? Did Karen pay him like $300? Yeah, okay, that's cool. I go, what the fuck? They don't need to be playing here. I was kind of taking up for you, and he's like, I'm gonna have them climbing the walls for these motherfuckers. And I go, it's just me and my brother right there. And he's
The
just,
bravado, like
Yeah,
Trey
you know what I'm
said.
And I seem to remember the news thing that he got the woman from the local news to come out.
Yeah.
That it was just an interview with him
Yeah.
on the show.
And a second of us playing
that is
with
greatness.
no sound.
That is so me. I would have done the same thing. Oh, these guys? Yeah, I just imagine. Anyway, well, I was going to film the band. You don't need that. But I think what he gave us was a sense of a knowledge of a business. You know, I liked how he challenged me to look at things.
He was an outsider, so it helped, I think, to have that perspective. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it gave us some sort of bigger hope.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when I talked to you one time when you were in New York, you were telling me that summer of '78 how many new things you had heard. And I was
Okay.
so pissed because like, well, what are they? Because I
Okay.
couldn't have got the records. You know, I didn't know. And you, oh my God, you're going to love what I
And that
found
was a
out.
pretty explosive year, wasn't it?
Yes,
That year. and a
that
half.
year. And he was telling me, when I come back, I'm going to play you some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that kept me hanging on. I was like, well, get your ass back here. Because we had played the Battle of the Bands, and I called him right away. And I remember I said to you, I'm never fucking playing another gig without you. I said that. Because I played solo guitar. It
Okay.
sucked.
Yeah, we were very lucky, I think, to have met each other.
I
and
was
had
so
those times.
pissed off playing that gig without him.
I remember meeting Trey. We were in health class or something together.
Probably so. Sex.
Well,
ed.
y'all got me into it.
It was health. I think it was Coach Tatch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was really glad I made it to Trey's living room at 4:35 on a Tuesday.
late.
No, it was a Monday night. I was late because his mom was coming back at 5, but she might have come back after 2 songs. Or did she look at me up through the window? Anyway, I went in there with that amp, and that was a great moment for me. Because Richard said, "What'd you think you do?" And I remember him saying, well, "She had the guitar player there." It was weird.
God, we had great amps. I always had a twin. I had a
Yes.
Music Man twin. We had great guitars.
And the thing about it, mine, is that
were so
mine
lucky.
was borrowed, sadly enough, from Chip's best friend, who was a heroin addict, and Terry Downs, who I admired, and that's why I went to guitar. And I never owned it, so I was borrowed that and the amp. I didn't own either of them, but Chip's like, he's never going to pay me back,
Okay.
and he paid him back.
Mm.
So
And Trey wound up building his own bass.
Yep. And you know what you're reminding me? Do you remember the instrument builder on the South Side?
yes, I do. That ended up killing his mother.
On PCP, and we went there that day, and he didn't answer the door.
He didn't answer the door.
And that day, and he was in the news, like, I heard the devil's voice, and he stabbed her like 28 times.
We knocked on the door that day. Something I tell Julie to this day.
Were you getting him to build you a guitar?
He was building me a guitar.
Yeah.
A blue Mighty Might.
Yeah. That was,
And you came with me. I know the house. We went to.
yeah.
It's right by the train station.
That
I
was
could
that-
take you to the house.
That was that PCP time.
Oh, my
and,
God.
yeah. Yeah.
That was so weird. We'd turn on the news, and it was like,
Holy
we
shit.
were...
I mean, they should have interviewed us. The cops should have interviewed us. but
We were there. I mean, it was weird. We talked to him, I talked to him earlier that day, or whatever we were supposed to come by. He was totally normal.
Yep.
Thank the Lord. We're supposed to be here. God bless you guys.
You too.